Good evening and welcome everybody to tonight's varsity football matchup. My name is Jack Stinson, and I am actually not alone this time for tonight's broadcast.
Yes, sir.
And we've upgraded from one person now to three people. I'm joined now by Tristan Hawatma, sitting directly to my right, and then next to him is Joe Burkemper, who will be helping out with the color commentary for tonight's broadcast. We got an interesting matchup on hand with Jefferson City. Tristan, what can you expect from this game?
Well, they have a quarterback right now who is on top of his game. He was playing three position, I believe, correct?
Yeah, it was just bumped up to three. Recently. Devin Roberson is the name.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, so Devin is a big player, and they're a great team. But it's nice to see Chaminade Red Devils back at home after 3 losses. Joe, what do you think about these Red Devils and their chances tonight?
I'm really liking what I see from the running game, especially LJ Fortune. The loss of Maurice Anthony is a little sad, but honestly, containing Corey Suttle is going to be somewhat of an issue, I think, watching him against Salou last week. But I think Chaminade's main problem is going to be getting the run game going, but also trying to contain Corey Suttle.
I'd have to agree. Unfortunately tonight, hate to break the news, Joe, but LJ is not playing due to hip confusions or whatever you call that.
That's not good.
No, it's not good. So the running game is going to be a little hurt, but I think we can make up with it. And I think that's fine, but it's just nice to have the team back at home.
Exactly.
And then, yeah, even with the loss of LJ, we still have a fairly deep stable of running backs to help kind of boost that, I'd say, or to help kind of fill in his place. You can see a lot of running I'd expect from Amar Johnson, number 1, tonight, who's in my mentor group for the record.
Oh.
I will say. Shout out 202.
Well, Kevin Ray and Jake Divis also on the defense. Shout out 402, the mentor group guys. I expect a lot from them. They've become very good leaders on this team, both juniors. I expect some good plays from them. But, again, it's just really nice to see the team at home after 3 away games.
Yes, a 3-game road trip.
Yeah.
Technically, the East St. Phillips Chicago game in East St. Louis, I think, counted as like a neutral site, technically, because it wasn't on either field, but whatever.
Of course. All night we will be disrupted by the pep band, our pep rally. Thank you, Mr. Hahn, for that. They're doing a great job, though. And it looks like we're about to go underway with the kickoff, and Chaminade will be receiving the ball.
Kicking off for the Jefferson City Jays, number 10, Ben Foles. Not to be confused with Nick Foles, the Super Bowl MVP.
You never know.
And then all the way back to return the punt for the Red Devils is the previously mentioned Amar Johnson, and then also number 5, Jabin Johnson.
And we are underway, and a good kick.
Amazing kick right there.
Sails all the way past the out-of-bounds line.
And it is in the goal right there. Give them a point right there. That's a goal.
The kickoff by number 10, Foles.
So Chaminade will start on offense now, trying to get something going.
So one thing I'm looking at this possession is Brady Cook, our QB. He's been on and off a little bit this season. And I think, the home crowd's here. A lot of people are here, to support him. And I think that home crowd really makes the difference for a quarterback.
It really does. I mean, we scored our season high in points, actually, I believe, in the one home game we had against Belleville East.
Of course.
In week 1. Opens it off with a nice short, complete pass.
That's the kind of stuff that might be working for Chaminade there. If a quick pass from Brady Cook, the receiver could put a move on one of the corners of the safeties. That could be big for Chaminade.
And Brady Cook seems to be getting a lot better, at least more confident with this passing game. In the last game against Vianney, he went 10 for 15, if I'm correct, and which is a season high in terms of percentage, at least, for him so far.
Yeah, good for him. But Yeah, one thing, Chaminade, we got to do, like Joe mentioned, it's the short game. Short runs, short passes, and that's how we're going to move up this field, not throwing bombs every single possession, because that's when QB Cook will get his interceptions and get the turnovers.
If we do have to throw bombs, though, we do have Keyshawn Campbell, averaging 43 yards a catch. He's a big threat out there at 6'3".
He definitely is.
And also he's a track star, so he's he's used to running long distances and running fast, so it's nice to have that on the receiving power.
I believe in total, Keyshawn had 3 touchdowns against Vianney.
Well, I'm not going to disagree with you. I believe you on that one. He's in the pocket.
Big
And Brady Cook being chased out.
Good throw.
Throws it away.
Interesting to see the Jeff City pass rush there. Corey Settle not even on the play. So you just by seeing that, you can tell that Jeff City has a lot of pass rush just outside of Corey Settle.
He's out there.
Yeah, he wasn't on the play, though.
Well, for the record, for those of you that don't know, Corey Settle is number 44. He's lining up at D-end on the far side for you, on the upper side of your screen. He's a 3-star recruit that is committed to Iowa State.
Yeah, he's a threat all around. And in the pocket.
Cook's pass to Doug Agnew this time is complete.
Gain of about 5-6 yards, I think. Yeah, but like we said, it's the short stuff that'll get us up the field. The occasional bomb is nice, but it's just the short game, the short movements that'll get us where we need to be.
Like Shaman is saying out there to go for it. Interesting move here on 4th and 4. Oh, no, it's a Brady Cook punt. Now I see it.
Yeah, Chaminade does kind of pull the somewhat interesting move of having the quarterback punt.
It's hopefully.
You see it a lot more in high school football, obviously, than you do in other places. But
right. That ball just sat right on the 30-yard line. It didn't even bounce. It stayed right still, and the defense will come on.
And now the Jays offense will get a chance to operate. And now one of the players that we mentioned prior to the game starting it was number 6. His name is Devin Roberson. And he is kind of a jack of all trades. We shouldn't really be introducing him now because he did get some reps in on the last drive as well, because he also plays D-end for some reason. But it makes sense, I guess, with the frame that he does possess, being 6'3", 240.
Right.
That rare quarterback D-end hybrid.
It sounds like something you'd create on Madden when you're just bored on a Sunday.
Fun fact about you bring up the hybrid. In public speaking with Mr. Robert Grummick, we call Reese Anthony the hybrid, and that's the nickname. So, hybrid, we miss you. Hope to see you on the field by the end of the season. It is a shame.
That last pass coming from Devin Roberson to number 23, Christian White. And hands it off this time to Malik Jackson, who's running outside to the right. But the Chaminade defense was not fooled on that one. Only gains about 2 yards.
What I've seen this year with our defense is just I think we're just gradually improving from our first game of giving up, what was it, like 30 points. And I think we're just, 31. We're just gradually getting better. Our defense on the line is getting a lot stronger, and it's just nice to see, but just like the whole D-line, I think, is just improving a lot, especially with the young guys we have.
And as we say that, there's an offsides call against the D-line. That one's going against number 66, Ashton Rustemeyer.
Well, they heard me up here, so I'll take that one, guys.
You jinxed it.
That one's on me.
Watching Jeff City, honestly, a lot of the short passes and runs, if Chaminade's able to tackle, I think that's going to be big for them in this game. They don't throw deep much, mostly runs and short passes. Tackling's going to be huge for Chaminade here.
That it is. And one of the key issues will be tackling Devin Roberson, because he does tend to scramble a lot, and it's hard to bring him down with that frame. As Malik Jackson runs outside and finally gets tackled at the feet by number 7, Cam Epps.
When you have a big frame like that, you get in the pocket, you're just going to run, and he goes exactly with it. No hesitation to throw the ball, and he picks up at least 13 yards on that one. So, again, we don't have our free safety, and Jamison Terry, he's injured, and also Luke Nichols is injured. So both offense and defense has been suffering from injuries. Our juniors are just sadly being injured, but hopefully they'll be back, and it'll give the opportunity for the young guys. There's a nice sack there.
Good hit.
It was a great defensive play, tackling Malik Jackson in the backfield. That was Grant Finley, number 44, for the Red Devils on that last tackle. That'll push the Jays all the way back. It's now 2nd and 15.
Yeah, big play there to stop the defense, or stop the offense, excuse me, after a nice little run there, or by their QB on the last possession. So let's see if we can get 2 stops in a row.
Roberson, another short pass to Christian White. And gains about 5 yards in the play, gets tackled right at the line where that initial set of downs started.
I went to an Alabama football game about 2 weeks ago, and I noticed that one of the few starters at Alabama that was not from the South was actually from Jeff City, big O lineman. So I'm sure Jeff City's really teaching those big O linemen. I think blocking's going to be a big key part for them.
And that last pass from Roberson going to number 17, Ryan Brooks, is off the mark. It's now 4th down for the Jays, and I presume they're going to punt it. It would seem kind of weird to
go for it.
Yeah, a little long to go for it here.
Unless maybe they
got to trick
break out like a 50-yard field goal.
They pull the Philadelphia Eagle lateral to Nick Foles in the pocket. You never know.
The Philly special.
Here we are on 4th.
And they do try and go for it as the pass goes to Christian White, but is no good as he's tackled by Kevin Ray. And he cannot convert the first down, so Chaminade will take over.
I told Kevin Ray this morning in Mentor Group he's got to get me at least 5 tackles, and I think he's going to take that to heart.
He's 1/5 of the way there.
Let's go.
7:37 left in the first quarter.
Again, like we said, Brady Cook, Jr. now, has had 3 years on the team to grow and progress. He already has offers. The big name is Mizzou, of course. And I think this is really the season that he can prove himself and he can show that he is, a top-tier quarterback as he will sneak it and gains about 3.
And he does seem to be showing more confidence as the games progress. That last game, I think, was his best game yet. He didn't get much help. He got sacked 9 times in that last game against Vianney.
Right.
But in terms of passing and touchdowns, I personally thought that was his best game so far this season.
Right. I'd have to agree. And, my dad always says, a quarterback is whatever his offensive line is. So
another run to Amar Johnson trying to take it up the middle.
It's not really good for a quarterback's confidence getting sacked that many times.
No, not at all.
It's not really good for a quarterback's confidence getting sacked that many times, but credit to Brady Cook. He's really standing in the pocket right now. Going with the QB keeper, really trusting his O-line there.
3rd down is 3.
Chaminade with a 3rd and 3 coming up.
You look at the line on
Hand off to Johnson again.
Good.
And trying to fight his way through.
I don't know if the ball got loose, but everyone jumped on it.
Johnson still has it.
There it is.
And it falls, I believe, about just a yard short.
But as I was saying before that run, I think the whole team, like we're talking about individual players, but I think the whole team is just getting more and more comfortable in their roles on this team and getting more comfortable playing these games. It's one thing nice to see that we have so many juniors that next year we know we're in good hands because we have players like Jamison Terry, Luke Nichols, LJ, and Brady. So we have a whole team of youth, and it's nice to see that.
You're talking about growth and development there, and I really think Chaminade's showing that they're getting more comfortable. They're showing more exotic play calls, jet sweeps, quarterback keepers. You usually don't call those unless you're really confident in your team. Usually you just run short passes, trying to something to get the offense going. But Chaminade's really switching up the play calls here. It looks good.
Speaking of interesting play calling, that last play was kind of an interesting one. At first, just trying to move the pile, gain that 1 yard to get the first down, and it turned out successful.
Something short, easy, and simple just to get the extra yard to get that first down.
And Cook now long pass going to Doug Agnew, and it's intercepted by Christian White.
Now, there's nothing you can do about that one. Just a little short throw by quarterback QB Cook, and that's okay. It's just a learning process, one pass at a time, one game at a time. But, soon enough those passes will connect.
Credit to Chaminade for getting really confident there. I mean, deep interception is not something you want to see, but the confidence is really showing now.
And one thing also, if you remember the name Christian White, because I mentioned him earlier prior to getting that interception, one thing that Jefferson City does a lot is they tend to play mostly the same guys on both sides of the ball. Like, for example, Devin Roberson is also a D end. Christian White is also, I believe, a safety as well. And so it's just it speaks to me like it would be something potentially an issue with strategy later on. Like coming down to like in the fourth quarter, it would help. It would kind of tire players out more, I think.
Right. I'd have to agree.
It impact the performance.
Yeah, I don't know what they do at half. Maybe they switch the rotation or they keep their guys in, but whatever it's doing, it's working for them.
Another short pass from Roberson to White. This time he's tackled and then it comes loose, but the refs don't blow it dead. So it's no fumble on that play.
You know, also one thing I've noticed this year is we have a lot of new coaches. Coach Radowski, new coach, quarterback coach. We have a lot of new coaches who I think are very into this, into their role and very committed. You know, it's nice to see that not only the players who have been in and out of the gym, coming to practice, they're dedicated, but it's nice to see that our coaching staff cares just as much.
And Trey Hackler chases Devin Roberson out.
Really carries over to the players, too.
I'd have to agree.
And then Trey Hackler chased Devin Roberson out of that pocket right there. And we're going to try and go scramble, but he falls short of a first down. And so it'll be 4th down and 4 for the Jays. And so now they're going to be forced to punt. And that's going to be exactly what they do as Ben Foles lines up in order to punt the ball for the Jays. A long snap.
Uh-oh.
He has trouble with the snap.
Good
And he
block.
gets blocked. And he dives right on it. Beautiful play. That is John Kuntz right there. Blocks the punt attempt and then takes it right back in. Oh, my. And what a play right there from John Kuntz.
It's the plays like those that are the confidence boosters, that get the whole team into it. Offensive defense, that's the energy you need. That's the dedication you want to see from John Kuntz to lay on that ball. And that's the stuff that's going to get this team going.
That's just a great play right there. I believe that counts as Chaminade's first defensive touchdown of the year.
And we'll take it.
And then coming on to the Red Devils now to kick the PAT attempt right here is number 88, Adam Schmidt. Hasn't missed a PAT all season and don't expect him to now. And it is good.
Adam Schmidt's been pretty reliable on PATs this year. Hasn't missed one yet.
Nope.
Quick public service announcement. Celebrate Chaminade. Mark your calendar for Celebrate Chaminade 2018. The event will be held September 28th to the 29th. Friday night, there will be an all-alumni barbecue followed by varsity football battling DeSmet on the Dalmomes 53 field. Saturday morning, there will be an annual golf classic as well, followed by the all-alumni mass at 5 p.m. So please visit www.chaminade-stl.org for more information on that.
Thank you, Tristan.
Of course.
And one thing that's also somewhat interesting, the person that normally takes the kickoffs for the Red Devils is Peter Hannon, who wears number 31. But he is injured, it appears. He's on the sidelines and not dressed. And so Adam Schmidt's going to come out and kick off as well for Chaminade.
Man of many traits.
Man of many kicks.
I'm really interested to see how Chaminade's defense is going to show that energy, trying to stop Roberson.
I'd have to agree.
And running the ball up the field now, it appeared to be number 8, Devin White.
Yeah, like you said, Joe, like to see what the defense brings with the energy after that, John Kuntz play. Maybe it happens again. We don't know.
Hopefully, maybe if we can just get more of this, then things will be good.
Those kind of quick touchdowns are really energize the whole team. It didn't even require an offensive, hardly defensive play. Just get it like that. It's really a big booster.
It is. Easy points. Call them freebies.
Hand off to Malik Jackson. Gets brought down after very little gain by Ashton Rustemeyer.
A little thing that's, it's small, but it's a big part is I'd say the Chaminade Red Army this year. you know, the Chaminade guys, the high schoolers and the middle schoolers have showed up to soccer, football. They've showed up to these events, and they're loud. And if you're a player on that field, that is a big part. You know, these guys want to hear their, you know, classmates be loud and encourage them. And I think that's a big part of our success. Ooh.
Devin Roberson scrambling, still not tackled, and stays on his feet. And they just cannot seem to get him down. And they finally tackle him at about the 15-yard line.
Gain of about 50, 60 yards right there.
I got to say, you know, big Chaminade fan, but absolutely amazing run there, I got to say.
Amen.
That was amazing.
Amen.
You broke a couple of tackles. The big guy, wow. I'm impressed.
It's one of the things you can expect with a 6'3", 240 quarterback / DN / apparently now running back, as according to an article that I read. They, in practice this week, the Jays had an interesting formation where they tried running Devin Roberson at running back and then putting in their backup quarterback, Cole Gresham.
Little 1980 Chicago Bears, the fridge, run it right up the middle, get you about 10 yards on a 4th down. And it works. That's the thing. You get a guy who's 256-something feet up there. He's hard to tackle, and he's on the break. You know, he's got some speed on him. That's a big key running game.
Especially with a lot of our defensive backs out and injured, having a lot of the smaller, younger guys in there. It'll definitely use a little bit of. It'll definitely be. What's the word I'm looking for?
Difficult?
Yeah, it'll. I can't talk. It'll just be difficult for those guys to try and get it. As another run from Malik Jackson gets brought down short of getting into the end zone. And it's a 4th down. Or my apologies, it's 1st and goal. And so the ball will be right there at the goal line. And the refs throw a flag on the play.
As we've seen before, Jeff City's offense at fullest speed. You got Jackson, you got Roberson. Chaminade's deep safeties are going to have a lot of trouble. If they get to the second level and get past the linebackers, the safeties are going to have to make a play on the tackling.
Amen. And that's hard when our safeties are, again, like Jake said, you know, the smaller, skinnier guys. And if you got a 260, 6'5" player coming at you, you're not tackling him.
You don't want to see that.
Got to go for the feet.
And so now that last penalty was a false start against the Jays, and so it moves them back 6 yards, but it doesn't seem to matter as Malik Jackson takes it into the end zone for the touchdown, and so that puts Jeff City on the board now for the first time this game.
You know, you love to see it after the big defensive play there by John Kuntz and the Chaminade defense. Jefferson City said no, and we got to take this thing all the way, and they had a drive of about 85 yards there, so kudos to them on a good drive.
And I was talking about speed there, but that run was all power. Just powered through the O-line and some really good blocks containing the D-line. Great play there.
I'd have to agree, Joe. Tie game, 7-7 with 1:30 left of the first.
Oh, yeah, that last run was definitely something interesting because, there was multiple defenders on him trying to tackle him, and they just couldn't.
He's got through him. Simple
as
that.
Kept on muscling through.
I'm looking at the sideline now. I'd like to give a quick shout-out. Marcus Greer is here. Marcus has been he is a graduated the year class of 2018. He was on the team for 4 years, a big part of our success for the past 4 years. Marcus, it's nice to see you home. Love to see you. Always welcome.
Now playing football for Middle Tennessee State University.
Always great to see graduates back.
It is nice. You know, it's also nice to see all the young guys who played with them their freshman year, and now they're the juniors and seniors to see, their mentors come back, their upperclassmen. It's definitely an encouragement.
Somewhat of a big brother presence there.
Exactly. That's that Chaminade Estovir right there, that brotherhood. And the ball will fall off the tee.
And I will say, though, in regards to Marcus Greer, because one thing you guys may not have known, I was on the team my sophomore year.
I did know this.
And then I quit for reasons because
you were too good.
Too good.
Yeah, we'll go with that. We'll let you think that.
Yeah.
But
ball keeps going off the tee here.
I guess someone put butter on the tee. I don't know what's going on there. But I will say Marcus was in practice. Not my favorite guy to go against.
I can imagine.
Mainly just for like his mindset in a sense. He seemed to always have like that gear in him to where he could just kind of kick it up another notch or two higher than really anybody else. And that was one thing I think that made him so good. Cam Epps, though, trying to get that kick return. And after some initial trouble with it.
But a good little gain of about 7.
Tristan, you were talking earlier about the Chaminade Red Army and how great it's been this year. And honestly, hearing them right now, all the chants, I don't believe that couldn't get the Chaminade team going right now.
Of course.
Your fellow classmates, love hearing them support you.
You know, Menor group with guys like Jake Divis, Luke Kasupke, who plays basketball, Kevin Ray, and then having classes with John Kuntz. You know, you talk to these guys, and they love it. They want to hear this crowd get wild. It will, you know, it'll get that adrenaline flowing to where these guys will kick it up another notch, and it really does make the difference. And I think the seniors, you know, thanks to your class guys, you really have kicked it up a notch. Last year we didn't have such a great crowd, but this year I think all around for sports, you know, we have a crowd that'll get the guys moving. As much as I love commentating with you boys, being in that Red Army, it's a fun experience.
It really is. And speaking of crowds, Jeff City's crowd apparently is very well traveled.
I would have to agree. They traveled a quite a far distance to come see their guys play. So shout out to them too.
It's about 2-3 hours, I believe,
right
from here, Jeff City.
Shout out to the White Army.
Small gain on the play.
Uh-oh.
It's third
I
down.
don't know if it's just me, but I haven't seen Subtle a lot this game. I don't know if they're doing a good job of containing him or running the ball away from him, but I think Chaminade's did a good job of trying to keep the ball away from him, not letting him make a play.
Yeah, and that just really, I think you can attribute that to the guys that is blocking him. And at the moment, that's Trey Hackle, number 55, playing left tackle. He's done a relatively good job. As Cook's pass to Doug Agnew is complete, and then he's brought down immediately.
I saw an excellent block from Trey Hackle there. Subtle was intent on taking down Cook, and he really contained him pretty well.
He really did. Allowed Cook just enough time to get the pass off and make a completion.
You know, one thing that's always underrated in the game of football is that offensive line. You
Definitely.
cannot generate a single thing without those guys putting their lives on the line on that line to contain the defense so that quarterback and running back has time to make a play.
And
Keyshawn will drop it at the 50.
for the last play of the first quarter. And we have a very good game so far on our hands, folks. End of the first quarter. Chaminade and Jefferson City are tied at 7 apiece.
Score 7, Chaminade 7, Jeff City.
Another public service announcement. High schoolers who are listening right now, homecoming is next week at Chaminade. As you know, buy your tickets for that, and we have some dress themes for all school week. Monday we got beach theme, but make sure they're not they have sleeves on them. As much as we want to see the guns out, got to have it respectable. Tuesday, pajama day. Wednesday, the middle school is camping theme, so you can interpret that as you wish. High school is testing, so regular dress. Sorry, guys. Thursday is 70s theme. Tie-dye, whatever you want to, the weird jeans, whatever you want to bring out. Friday is the orange out. Theme attire is optional, but regular dress code is required if you opt out of the theme for each day. See your house captains or seniors if you have any questions with this, and have fun at homecoming. Joe, you going to homecoming?
I don't know if I can make it. Wish I could. It's a great time.
You know, I am going. Try to keep the streak, third year. Have gone with a different girl every year, so
Okay.
that's not
It's respectable.
change it up every year. Not
Always, ton of lucky girls out there then.
Yeah, of course, but we keep it respectable at Chaminade,
Of course.
Hey, did you guys know there's a football game going on right now?
Oh, of course.
What football game?
I forgot about that. Yeah, let's bring the focus with 11:35 left in the second.
As that last play was completion from Cook to Keyshawn Campbell out on the far side. Cook hands it off this time, running it right up the middle, and I believe he got the first down on that play.
Chaminade really nickel and diamond their way down the field right now, which is what you want to see. The running game's O-line's actually been pretty solid.
I'd have to
unlike
agree.
what I see from there.
John
Run game and pass game.
John Kuntz was getting some reps at running back in that last play. But he'll come off the field now. Amar Johnson will come on for him.
Another Red Army chant. Great to hear.
Little SpongeBob. Speaking of SpongeBob, as we said, homecoming is Nickelodeon theme, so very appropriate this time.
And the pass is time to Kevin Ray. Ooh. Eventually gets pushed out of bounds by Devin White, number 8 for the Jays. That'll be after the 35-yard line. And that'll be a big game for the Red Devils. They'll pick up the first down.
Right, and of course we got to always know that if we don't get the touchdown, if we're close enough, we can always go for the field goal. So, get the points. It doesn't always have to be the touchdown.
We are within range, but hopefully we take a touchdown.
Of course.
Touchdowns are always
more
best.
Points is more it's more fun.
We've got a timeout now for water.
Just looking at that last play, Brady Cook rolling left, bootleg. I'm watch a lot of NFL football myself, and I see that a lot in the pros these days. And I think throwing the defense off, especially if you have really good pass rushers on the edge, doing something like that throws them off. And a lot of the times you got the tight end open underneath, which is what we saw there.
Good analysis there. I didn't even notice that. Speaking of NFL football, I was watching I think it was last week, I was watching Vikings Green Bay last Sunday. Great game. Defense and offense was there. And, I was talking to Coach Torrey about it, and he's like, it was an okay game, but I think we could do better. Good little mindset of coming to the game.
Brady Cook dropping deep in the pocket, short pass to Amar Johnson, and he'll take it, but get tackled just at about the 30-yard line.
Another short pass. Very efficient so far.
Short pass, but it's been working. Getting about 5 yards or so on each reception.
Another nice thing tonight. It's actually a really nice night out. It's not too hot. It's not too cold. It's just a great night for football and all sports in general. So that's always nice to have on these nights. So, it's a better incentive for guys to come out to the game, and it's also nicer for these players.
Brady Cook split out in the 5 wide and see how this goes.
Long pass going to John Kuntz, and he'll take it, and he's brought down. Did he get the touchdown?
1 yard line.
They're going to say no. He's at the 1.
John Kuntz, sir, has been putting in some work this game with almost 2 touchdowns, one off the defense and one off the offense. So, good play so far by John.
Interesting look in the 5 wide there. Usually Chaminade at least likes to have a running back out there. We like to run the ball a lot. The 5 wide look really shows that we have confidence in Brady throwing the ball deep. Great pass there.
And a short run, trying to move the pile.
Is he in?
Is he in?
Looks like he's down to the 1.
They're going to say
he's
no.
Down at the 1. The famous chant of "run it up the middle," I think, is the motto in this possession here.
Iconic chant right there.
Brady Cook on the carry. He pushes his way forward, so he is not in the end zone yet. 2nd and goal.
It's got to be inches. He looked extremely close from what I saw.
He looks like a centimeter off the end zone.
And they're going to try and move the pile again. He's getting Brady Cook in the end zone, and he gets it. Brady Cook puts the Red Devils right back on top. Now Chaminade leads 13-7. Chaminade's offense has been clicking so far.
I'd have to say so. If the offense stays like this and the defense picks it up a little bit, I think we got a nice little game on our hands.
That we do.
Adam Schmidt here on the PAT, my man.
Personal friend.
Personal friend, of course.
He's all right.
Is it up?
And it is good.
All right. Gotta love it.
Like clockwork.
Last year I played a little CYC basketball with Mr. Adam Schmidt. Not so good at basketball. I think he found his place in football.
For sure.
After watching that, like I said, Vikings-Green Bay game, Vikings could use another kicker, and I think Adam Schmidt could fill the role.
I was actually talking to Adam Schmidt earlier today, and he said, I could probably kick for the Vikings. I agree with him.
Or maybe the Browns.
Or the Browns.
Browns.
Kicking is needed in the NFL. So, Adam, if you're watching this, after this game, just know they're looking for you.
Hey, the Browns got their first win now, so it's
They
fine.
did. Kudos
First
to
win
them.
in like
It was
2
a
years.
great win. Watched the whole game last night. I was really impressed with how the Browns played.
Yeah, I was with LeBron James watching it. He liked it a lot.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I was really impressed with what I saw from Baker Mayfield in that game.
Baker Mayfield, he came in for Tyrod and just tore it up.
It's nice to see. And here's the kick by Adam. Right at about the 3-yard line. He'll run it. Good gain.
It's Devin White on the carry.
Good gain there for about 30, 32.
White. Tackle on the play by number 14, Cousin.
Chaminade's defense coming back onto the field now, trying to get another big stop, hopefully another defensive touchdown like we saw from John Kuntz last time.
I gotta say, I've seen a lot more passes than runs from Jeff City today. Watching tape, I saw a lot of runs from them with the tight end kind of motioning in the shotgun. I've seen mostly quick passes, though. I'm kind of intrigued by that.
Yeah, with their passing plays, they don't tend to go for the long ball very often, and when they do, it generally doesn't work out that well. And so it's mostly just short slant routes and curl routes. Kind of like what we saw right there.
You're right.
No one right there.
Pass right there. That one going to Christian White.
It's a good pickup there, though, for about 15 yards.
And gets the first down.
It's my favorite play right there in Madden, the slants.
Always works.
It always
Especially on the
works.
goal line. Always works.
Always works, baby.
Tried to get him off sides on that play. Almost did, but not quite. Robeson lining up in a trips left formation.
Bullet.
And a bullet pass to Devin White again. Gets the completion, but not the first down.
And the thing is, the defense is there, but, it's just getting, the needle through the haystack right to their receivers. It's just great passing.
Another one of those short passes we talked about. Both teams utilizing a lot this game. It seems to be working for both.
Mm-hmm. Amen.
I'm not sure what the delay is so far in this.
Yeah.
And the snap from Roberson,
deep
ball. Trying to go to Ryan
he
Brooks,
drops
but
it.
it's off the mark. Goes right out of the hands of Brooks.
Good lob, though. That's a great pass. It was right in his mitts, but unfortunately couldn't connect.
Solid pass.
Right as we're talking about the short ball, I think Jeff City threw Chaminade off with a long ball.
Right.
We weren't expecting it. They weren't expecting it. Had him open, just a little overthrown.
Yeah, that little variation is very important on offense. It makes it unpredictable and a lot harder to guard. So
I can see them trying to go for a short run right here, just try and pick up the first down. Only 1 yard to go, and
Good
that's
call.
what they try and do.
Good stop.
But it is no good.
Stop.
To no avail. And Chaminade stops them, tackles for a loss of about 2.
Think they go for it here? I think they
I
probably
don't
do.
know. I feel like if they do go for it, it'd be a short pass.
Definitely. That's what I was.
Probably,
Yeah.
probably like a short curl route.
That's what I
is
would
I'm
plan
thinking.
for if I was Chaminade defense.
maybe I see my favorite route, the button hook delay, and it's timeout.
Called by the
Timeout,
Jays.
So, homecoming dance. We talked about homecoming week, but high schoolers, don't miss this year's homecoming dance. The dance is Saturday. This is next Saturday, September 29th, from 8 to 10:30 p.m. and the Athletic-tron. Tickets are $25 per couple in advance, and you can pay $30 at the door, but why do that? And they can be purchased in the Spirit Store. I hope to see you there. Also, this Wednesday, September 26th, is an early dismissal day for all students. School will adjourn at 12:35 p.m. Adjourn, folks, means end, if you didn't know. There's some big vocab words here. So, early dismissal, always nice to have.
Some great news to hear. So they are going to go for it. Interesting play.
Roberson running up the middle, I don't know.
It's another strategy. When you have someone as big as that, it's always an option. It worked for him last time when they got the 50-yard gain on the scramble. And the refs throw a flag. I'm not sure who that's going to be against.
False start. I wonder if that changes their decision to go for it on 4th down.
Yeah, I feel like that would have to sway him to punt.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know if the...
Roberson's run off the field.
And now they're putting on the punt team now. Ben Foles is coming in there.
Yeah,
We can get another mistake like we did last time.
Amen.
Hopefully.
But it's nice to have that, false start because you don't know what could have happened, and it thank God, ends the possession.
Jeff City build us out on that play.
Amen.
Kick from Foles.
Short
Lands
punt.
on the 30-yard line number, and then picked up by number 45 for the Jays.
Took a nice Chaminade bounce there.
It was Bryant Gipe.
1st and 10, Chaminade.
Here comes Brady Cook in the offense, back to hopefully score again.
Chaminade's offense has been cooking so far. Hopefully they can keep that going.
Like that. Did you mean that, cooking? Just a little inside joke?
I didn't even know about it. I'm coming up with puns and I don't even know it.
Put that on a T-shirt. All right, let's do this thing, offense.
Another short pass. Doug Agnew this time gets tackled
For a
right
gain
at the
of-
line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I don't
Maybe a
think he
gain of
can-
1.
Maybe.
The refs will mark it a gain of 1 on the play.
It's like
So
a
now we got
bubble
2nd and
screen
9.
there.
Number 11, Joby.
Interesting play call.
1-yard gain. 2nd
See
down.
John Coons playing wide receiver on the far side nearest to us.
Chaminade lining up with 2 receivers on each side.
I think
Cook
the eyes are looking.
stepping back in the pocket.
looking deep.
Long pass trying to go to Jabin
Going.
Johnson,
He got
but he gets tripped up.
No call.
Refs aren't calling that.
Coach Torrey right now is furious that there was no call.
And initially, I thought that might have been PI, but I honestly think that might have just been a slip
It
of
looked,
the receiver.
yeah, it might have been a slip up. The ref was right there, so
From
There
what
was a lot
I
of contact at first, but ultimately, I'm not. You could have called that either way.
from what
You
I
coulda
could see, it
called
looked like Jabin Johnson got tripped up in the other receiver's feet, and then that's why
that
he
might
fell.
be the case.
Might have been.
That's what I believe it was supposed to be.
It looked like a good pass, though, so.
Yeah, I think he would have caught it had he not tripped.
Chaminade going with a trips left. Short pass to Jabin Johnson, who makes the completion this time.
Good blocking there by the offense.
One of those quick passes. Great blocking, though, as you said. Wide receivers are really key in those screen passes.
Some interesting
for the
routes
blocking.
being run by those receivers as well.
I'd like to see Chaminade go for it here. It's a short one. Brady could be punting, though. You never know.
I'm not quite sure, because they brought on both Amar Johnson and Kevin Ray, both people that could run it and power through, potentially. And that's what they do.
Like a QB
Brady Cook goes through and gets the first down.
The QB sneak.
Big QB power there. Had 3 blockers right.
Right.
Good play call.
Very good
Unexpected.
play call.
Yeah,
Kind of looked like a punt, honestly.
it did. The formation was set up as a punt, but great blocking again.
And a 1st down for Chaminade.
Chaminade gets the first down now. 6:05 to go in the first half. Chaminade still up 14-7. Hand off to Johnson, ring outside to the right, turns the corner, and the flag is
out.
thrown. And he's tackled just after the 50. Chaminade now in Jeff City territory.
Holding on offense there. Unfortunate call after a gain of about 5. So that's going to back the offense up quite a bit. I think it puts us on the 38-yard line.
Yeah, it looks like a holding penalty.
Yep, 38-yard line.
Holdings against the Red Devils. 10-yard penalty. It'll be 1st and
Holding penalties are always killer, though. Like 10 yards back, 1st and 20, it's not what you want to do.
No.
Definitely not.
Well, that's where the big plays come.
Hopefully,
Shotgun formation and launch that puppy.
hopefully we can get another big yard pass like we did, like we almost got from Jabin Johnson, but couldn't
Honestly,
quite.
Deep passing game has looked really good, I got to say.
So far, the passing's been on the mark.
Shotgun formation, looking for a pass, I believe. Yep. Pocket.
Short pass to
Ooh,
Jabin
good.
Johnson, and it's completed. He gets through, gain of about 15 on the play.
Great pass there, right to him, and he gets it. Powers through 2 defenders to get a good yardage of about 17.
One of those passes where you throw it quick and let your receiver make a play. Well
Exactly.
thrown, perfect for him to catch it and run after. Great play.
It's always important for a quarterback to make sure you get the ball to the wide receiver, not in a situation where they can get tackled immediately, but early enough where they can make a choice as a wide receiver so they can get that extra yard.
Always important, and that's how a lot of touchdowns are scored, and that's how the big plays come.
Good run.
Lamar Johnson running outside, trying to find some open holes. And he gets the first down and then some.
Good
and
gain
so
of-
he gains about 14 or so yards on the play.
Something like that, but good running game. And this possession has really been a tale of the blocking. The blocking has been superb by the line and also just like the tight ends and fullbacks. So just great blocking by everybody.
Not sure if it's Coach Torrey's decision to intentionally do this, but I saw they are running away from Suttle a lot, Corey Suttle. Strategic or not, it's very smart to do.
Good pitch. Good pitch.
Lamar Johnson running alongside the baseline or the sideline.
Still fighting.
And he almost gets the first down. I don't think they'll give it to him, but he gets brought down right at the first down marker.
Brady on that possession saw that he was getting he was not in a good position. Good pitch to the outside where he had some room.
Think that was an option call or was it designed? What are you thinking?
Probably designed. That's what I'm thinking. He was in too good of position.
And Jeff City calls a timeout. But one thing that you'll see with Chaminade coming out of this timeout, where they tried subbing in before it was called, Danny Sheehan's coming into the game now for the Red Devils.
Always great to see Deesh.
It is always nice.
A former CSPN member.
He was.
Graduated and went to the field.
He pulled the reverse Tony Romo.
Yeah, the reverse Tony. It's always nice to see, though. Deeshi, we still love you up here. Don't worry about it. Big public service announcement. We need volunteers. We are in desperate need of volunteers to work the concession stand and our remaining home football games. This is a great chance to see the action and meet other Chaminade parents. Please consider donating a few hours of your time. Again, this isn't for students, this is for parents. So students who are listening, please do tell your parents that we are in need of volunteers to work the concession stand, because you won't get your hot dogs if you don't.
Honestly, I wouldn't trust any students in there. If I was in there, I can't imagine how much stuff I'd take.
Definitely not.
Mr.
Short pass to
Verhoeven, you
Cam
didn't hear that
Epps.
from me.
And he gets tackled. I'm not sure if they got any gain on that play.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe a couple of yards.
The refs, I think, will mark him down right on the 25, so there's no gain on that play. So it's a 3rd and 1. A 3rd and inches, actually.
Look, probably some kind of Brady Cook
QB sneak.
QB sneak,
Yeah.
something power. Like
That's what's been working so far.
it has for those short yardage situations.
And I've been very impressed with how the blocking has been for the Red Devils so far, just because of.
Oh, he's in the pocket. Risky pass, but he'll get it for the touchdown.
Doug Agnew finding his way into the end zone. Beautiful play there. Beautiful passing play.
I was expecting Brady. He was wide open on that right side to go and take it for the first down, but he found Doug, and it converts to a touchdown.
Amazing play call, because as we've seen before, you expected Brady Cook power up the middle or something, but he surprises all with a play action pass. It's really well called.
And Cook's been having an excellent game so far, and it kind of goes to show what happens when he has the right blocking in front of him. He can really make a lot of plays and really make stuff happen. But and I think the line's kind of motivated this game after having a subpar game by their standards and by most people's standards.
Right.
Blocking against Vianney. Really, either way, I mean, Brady Cook got sacked 9 times against Vianney.
Right.
And then on defense, there's only, I believe, 1 sack total recorded by the Red Devils in that game. That was by Jalen Banks.
So with 3:20 left before halftime, Chaminade's running away with it 21-7, but this is football and it's anybody's game.
Hopefully Chaminade can keep this momentum going.
Amen.
Their defense has been stellar as well.
I'd have to say, like we said, it's a home game. We expected big things from this team, and that we are getting just that. All improvements have been made on both sides of the field. Offensive, defense, blocking's been great, passing's been great, rushing's been great. It's great to see the team coming around circle.
They seem to be very happy to play at home tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Christian White with the return now. That's actually Malik Jackson. My apologies.
The kickoff by Smith returns.
Explosive player right there.
Very explosive player.
Tackle made by number 20.
He accounted for a lot of of Jeff City's yards against their game last week against SLU.
28-yard line.
And in the second quarter, actually, against SLU is where Malik Jackson had a lot of, or where he got his most explosive play. And in that third quarter, or in that second quarter, I mean, Malik Jackson scored 3 touchdowns on 3 consecutive touches.
Yeah, superb.
And so far at the moment,
Chaminade's looking very aggressive on the pass rush. Had a couple offsides calls, which isn't necessarily good, but it's a product of an overall good thing, which is aggressive pass rush, going after the quarterback.
Yeah, especially a quarterback of his prowess.
Yeah, size.
Roberson pass to Christian White, completes it, but while falling down. But they'll count it anyways.
Good gain of about 8 yards. Keep getting text every time I announce these games for shout-outs. Guys, I'm sorry, but I can't do it every game. Maybe if we get 49 points tonight and we have a comfortable 3-touchdown lead, you'll get your shout-out, gentlemen.
Maybe. We'll think about it.
Here comes the snap.
Roberson getting it to Devin White.
Good pass. Like we said, those short slant routes, and the bullet pass right to him to find him. You know, those little plays, those little passes are what make all the difference.
They've been
It's
working
a really
so
strong
far.
arm from Roberson.
Oh, yeah.
Zipping it in there.
It is a definitely, he's determined on his pass. He's not second-guessing himself.
This pass complete
Great pass.
from Roberson. The receiver on that play is number 11. That's Levi Jobe, who has been relatively quiet tonight, which was interesting because watching film, he seemed to be the guy that Devin Roberson seemed to pass to the most in that game against SLU. But this time a handoff to Malik Jackson, trying to run it outside to the right. Turns the corner, but is immediately brought down. That is John Kuntz on the tackle.
Yeah, the running game for Jeff City has been a little lackluster, but they are definitely making up with it in Roberson and their passing. Roberson will get in the pocket and he'll break away, and he is just throwing bullets right to his guys and connecting on virtually every single pass, it seems like.
That's what Roberson's strength is. That's how his game goes. It's short passes on slant/curl routes. Not much long ball, but will definitely scramble if needed. And that's exactly what he does right here. And a flag is thrown on the play, but Roberson's still on his feet.
Oh, my gosh.
And
Hopefully a holding call.
absolutely bodies 2 Chaminade defenders. Both Johnsons. My apologies. That's Cam Epps and Jabin Johnson.
Jabin Johnson was he was there for the tackle, and Roberson put his shoulder down and went right through him.
Roberson just said, not today.
There is not much you can do when you got the weight difference like that.
Not at all.
But, I mean, we've seen him on offense, but I think Chaminade, the blocking has really done good to contain him on defense.
They
He's
really
an
have.
absolute beast, and I got to say, we've contained him pretty well.
I'd have to agree.
Another handoff. Fake handoff this time to Malik Jackson, but Roberson's actually the carrier on that. And he does have a gain.
Good play by Kevin Ray to go for the legs there. I mean, you haven't been able to take him down, but he went straight for the legs, took him out pretty quickly. That's how you're going to be able to stop him.
Exactly. Bigger they are, the harder they fall. And if you're the smaller guy, you got to go low because you're not going to win it up high.
It's a 3rd and 16 now for the Jays. Time for Chaminade to try and come up with a big stop right here. But if they are, Jeff City is still in field goal range.
He's in
Roberson
the pocket.
in the pocket. The pass to Ryan Brooks is complete.
Good catch.
He holds on.
Now that's that passing we've been talking about all game. Connects there with Brooks. Great pass.
It's 6'4" frame. It was pretty high. It was pretty high, but I mean 6'4", he's able to get that. That's a great catch there.
That's one of the things when you do have that size difference that you can do with receivers at that size.
Right. think a run is here. Nope, he's going to stick with what's working. He's going to run it, though.
Roberson scrambles and tries to take out the side, just stiff arms the Chaminade defender.
Design quarterback run. If the running game isn't working with the running back, just take off with Roberson. You're
Right.
Honestly,
guaranteed to get some decent yards.
well, they put him at running back in practice,
Yeah.
so it works.
If it works.
The good old Michael Vick, as I always call it. If your running back's not getting you the yards, just say,
Just take off.
Yeah, I got this.
Quarterback Roberson spikes the ball in order to stop.
Roberson spiked the ball. They're going to try and
Stop the clock with 15 seconds. Makes sense. They want to score here.
Jeff said he want to get a big play right here to give him some momentum going into the locker room.
No timeouts left for Jeff City, too. That could be a factor if they get a short pass and it's not in the end zone.
Great point. Here we go. 15 seconds. Probably have about two more. They're on third down. They have this one in the fourth, probably.
Short pass to Roberson is completed for the touchdown.
That was a, Chaminade guy, like we said, but great possession, great offensive possession there. Roberson was connecting on virtually every single pass. 10 yards, 8 yards, 10 yards, 8 yards, rushing it. He was doing it all for their team there.
It's a great mixture. They're mixing it up. They're throwing in the run. They're throwing in the run play. We see a lot of passes, but the run play from Roberson, I think, is really catching us off guard a little bit.
And I think it seems to be option because he's in the pocket and his wide receivers are looking, but he takes it and he'll just power through it. He definitely knows how to make a decision. That's a trait that a lot of pros like Cam Newton, Michael Vick, those guys, Russell Wilson, that when they get in the pocket, they need to learn how to run if their wide receivers aren't open. So it's very important to have as a quarterback.
Especially when in high school football with being as big as he is, just he can physically bully everybody else.
Exactly.
And find his way to all those gains, like the 50 whatever yard game that he had earlier in the first quarter.
And we talk about Roberson, but Cook, who's a lot smaller in stature, has done the same thing. He's been pushing it up getting those first downs on the third or the fourth down. He's been getting it through the defense, and he's powering through it. So kudos to both quarterbacks tonight.
I've been impressed with Cook's mobility, rolling out, finding open receivers, even the running. I mean, it's not something you see from him very often, but, I mean, it's great to see it here.
I'd have to agree.
Yeah, and with that difference that Roberson has with Cook, for example, in size, what Cook lacks in the size and strength that Roberson has, he makes up for it more in a sense with his IQ and craftiness, to find those holes, read those screens, and to try and go with an onside kick, and Chaminade lands on it.
Someone fell on it, but it fumbled out of their chest and went right to another guy, and he jumps on it, but I think we got the ball with 9 seconds left.
He's due.
Maybe a little Hail Mary, why not?
It could have potentially been more points for Jeff City there if they would have recovered it, so very lucky they didn't get that one.
Very.
So probably the last possession before the first half ends. Score 21-14, Chaminade. Great first half so far. Momentum on both sides building up, and we have a ball game.
That we do.
Looks like it might just be a kneel from Cook.
Yeah, what it looks like. Don't want to risk anything. Think it's going to be the kneel. Good call. And that
will be it for the first half, folks.
Again, 21-14, Chaminade on top. Great first half from both sides. And we will see you next half.
Stay tuned for the start of the second half, third quarter.
The campus is 56 acres, so you really have to come up to the hill where Chaminade sits to see the whole expanse of the campus. Chaminade is a Catholic and Marianist school for young men in grades 6 through 12. We operate in the Marianist and Catholic tradition, which encourages every young man who comes here to develop his gifts and talents to the fullest extent possible.
If I didn't come here, I don't think I would be where I was, because I had so many people who pushed me to be the best man I could possibly be the best person, no matter what it was. What it was. In class, I was always trying to get the best grade. I was trying to be the best player. I was trying to be the best at everything I did. And I think this school does everything possible to get the best out of each and one of their students.
Character development or the value training permeates everything that we do at Chaminade. Things that they're encouraged to value and do are all part of the Marianist tradition, and particularly of the Chaminade tradition of Estovir, be a man. The service program that we have here is pretty amazing and very extensive, and it is demanding of the young men's time. We do it in such a way that they have to find the time in their busy lives, just as they will later on as adults, to be of service to other people.
For a while now, we've been doing Father Dempsey's, which I did, where you go down and you cook food for the homeless down at the Father Dempsey's shelter.
You find them all over the metropolitan area. We work quite a bit in North St. Louis. They work in various institutions here, caring for older people, work with young people and tutoring them. Some of the programs go to El Salvador.
When I first walked onto campus, I was a sixth grader. It was 2008, and I was so nervous that I wasn't going to fit in, and because I like theater and I was kind of a Star Trek dork. But I mean, you just learn really quickly that everyone around here is just so welcoming and so open. That was so reassuring to me after I was so initially nervous to just be here and be a part of it.
So the house system is the way that we organize our student body in the non-instructional part of the school day. We organize the students in 5 houses. So every student identifies with one of those 5 houses, and within each house there are 8 mentor groups, which commonly are known as homeroom. We call them mentor groups. And then all the mentor groups have what we call senior leaders. So seniors take a leadership role in those mentor groups.
The house system really helps foster a sort of camaraderie between classes that I don't think is really able to be seen anywhere else. I still remember my senior leaders from 6th grade and 7th grade. I'm friends with them on Facebook. We talk.
We went on junior leadership training retreat, and I am deathly afraid of heights. But one of the activities was to go 40 feet up in the air and just hang around on these ropes. I was so scared of heights. But the whole house kind of got behind me and they said, if we all can do it, you can do it too. And I got up there and was able to do it.
Chaminade's been a very important part of my life. Still, some of my best friends growing up are kids that I met here in high school, and for me it's about being well-rounded. I think Chaminade's the perfect balance of academics, athletics, religion, arts. I think overall, just with the experience with the faculty and with the school and the kids you meet here, to me it was a huge part in me becoming the man I am today.
We have the fantastic Skip Bureau Center. What I love about the Skip is that there's so much variety of stuff. It's not just we're focusing on pottery, or we're focusing on theater, or we're focusing on band. You can do everything.
The balance that exists between studies and sports is that you take care of the work in the classroom, and then you take care of what you need to on the field. The soccer field is one of the best in the country. Basketball, of course, certainly competitive, and the size of the school allows many students to have the opportunity to play sports.
My favorite memory is going back to the days when I played Chaminade hockey. Some of those guys that I played with were classmates and have made lasting friendships. It just really means very much like a home setting to me. It's a place that's very based on faith, and faith is important to me and my family, so I can come back here and feel very embraced in that family spirit.
Chaminade does a great job of molding you into like you say, you walk in these doors a boy and you leave a man.
This was, the biggest factor at this squad on me was kind of my maturity, away from hockey, becoming a man and become a person. Just kind of like the slogan, Estovir, that was important, and it's still something I always hold close to my heart.
Estovir is a Latin expression that means be a man, and that's the challenge that we give to every young man who comes to Chaminade, to be the person that God intended him to be. And to do that, he's going to have to work at developing his inherent gifts and talents, but he's also going to need to learn a strong set of values. It's a very comprehensive motto that calls him to be the very best person that he can be.
When people ask me why did I choose Chaminade, I always say academics first. I'm a good athlete. I play in the NBA, but academics has always been important to me. It's always been number one. Because if without that, I wouldn't be able to play basketball, clearly. But I think this school is just so terrific at pushing you to the ultimate level. They want what's best for you. They challenge you. They're hard on you. But life isn't easy.
Chaminade is very much cutting edge in terms of keeping abreast of what's going on. I mean, between the global education, in terms of the resident program, the STEM, engineering, and math. And it's one of the foundations here at Chaminade, keeping ahead of the curve, if you will. And it's a great place for our children to become men.
Just before we came to St. Louis, we were in Sydney, Australia. So we needed a high school and a middle school for the two older boys. We had a lot of criteria that we were trying to meet. We knew that the school had an appreciation for a diversity of culture and learning styles and ways of thinking. And we felt that that might be an important fit. Global learning means opening your eyes to what is happening in the world at large, and also being able to find a place there. And we felt that we needed our boys to be marketable, and that when they leave here and go to college, that they would be able to be gainfully employed in a world that doesn't just think about me.
It's very important that we maintain our connection to our CMEs, our characteristics of Marianist education, and our Global Reach program fills that need. It fits right in. The students are going to have a greater awareness of this connectivity of what happens in the globe. It also happens at home. And if we bring students to the awareness of this local global nexus, it's going to be very helpful for them as they move forward in their education. So that's very poignant to interquality education.
We are very proud of our graduation rate at Chaminade. The advanced placement and college credit program that we have is very highly developed. So it is not unusual for a young man to leave here with 30 or more hours of college credit.
With the phrase "We Are Chaminade" embodies exactly that, the spirit of the school, the spirit of the students, the loyalty, and it's much deeper than a loyalty to the school or to the sports teams. It's a loyalty to one another. It's a loyalty to each other as brothers, as classmates, as family.
It's a sense of the family spirit that we have here that is so important. That's one of the parts of the Marianist characteristics that the students value most. They can grab onto it because it's very real, the family spirit that animates everything that we do here.
I have great memories, some of my best memories. I think if I could go back and do something all over again, it would be the 4 years I spent here in high school. I think that once again, the kids that I met and the special times that I had playing basketball here as well, I think was something I'll never forget and something that really helped me to really kind of become the man that I am.
I obviously think Chaminade is a very wonderful place. It affords any young man who comes here a very rich experience. And we can't talk about all of it, but what I would encourage you to do is to come and visit us and be a part of our family.
We are Chaminade.
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 We are Chaminade. We are
Oh, hey, welcome to Chaminade. Don't tell anyone I let you in here, though. You're going to need to start bringing your fob. My name's Teddy Phelan. This is Ted's Declassified Homecoming Survival Guide. And I'm going to be walking you through the themes for Homecoming Week each day. Don't step on the seat. Monday is beach theme for SpongeBob. Mr. Shaver, why is it Christian at theme?
But can't he wear a regular dress code?
Yeah, but he doesn't have a belt or proper shoes.
Good point. I'll take care of this.
Thank you.
What's up, Mr. Shaver? All right.
You know what Tuesday is?
No, I don't know what Tuesday is.
Tuesday's pajama day.
Really?
Get your jammies out and let's get cozy.
Well, I might accidentally fall asleep at school, you know.
You might.
The math teacher once said to me, head down, grade down. And those are words to live by, you know?
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Hey, look at this kid.
Ooh, I might get a little picture of him.
Snap clip pic.
Yeah.
Hey, dude, wake up.
What are we doing?
Wake up.
Oh, sorry guys. I was up all last night texting my girlfriend. You wouldn't know her, but she's really hot.
What are you wearing, Christian?
Yeah, we don't like that. Oh, you mean my Lulu?
Yeah, you can't wear that.
I've always worn Lulu for Spirit Taste Head.
You can't, Christian.
I've literally always
Christian,
done it.
you can't wear Lulu. Time! Wednesday is camping theme for wild thornberries. Middle school, you will be in camping attire. High school, you will be in regular dress code because you will be testing. You hear that? There's a squat.
How's the fishing?
Thursday is 70s theme. Break out your dad's jeans and wrangle up a tie-dye t-shirt and let's get crazy.
Yo, Ted.
Yo, what's up?
You see the latest Barstool post?
No, I haven't, dude. That's sick.
Yeah, it's pretty steez, I think.
How'd you get my shirt?
What?
And why are you wearing Lululemon shorts? You're doing better with this theme, but you can't wear Lulu shorts.
Dude, I can't wear my Lulus?
No, you can't wear your Lulus.
Ted, they're literally so comfortable.
You can't wear them, Christian.
The underwear are built
Christian,
in.
you can't wear them! Hey, Mike, you know what Friday is?
No, it's Friday.
Friday's an orange out, leading into the football game against DeSmet, and we're gonna crush them.
Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah!
But who's that?
Oh my gosh, I have no clue who that is, but he is in perfect dress code. Oh, hey, welcome to Chaminade. Don't tell anyone I let you in here, though. You're going to need to start bringing your fob. My name's Teddy Phelan. This is Ted's Declassified Homecoming Survival Guide. And I'm going to be walking you through the themes for Homecoming Week each day. Don't step on the seat. Monday is beach theme for SpongeBob. Mr. Shaver, why is it Christian at theme?
But can't he wear a regular dress code?
Yeah, but he doesn't have a belt or proper shoes.
Good point. I'll take care of this.
Thank you.
What's up, Mr. Shaver? All right.
You know what Tuesday is?
No, I don't know what Tuesday is.
Tuesday's pajama day.
Really?
Get your jammies out and let's get cozy.
Well, I might accidentally fall asleep at school, you know.
You might.
The math teacher once said to me, head down, grade down. And those are words to live by, you know?
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Hey, look at this kid.
Ooh, I might get a little picture of him.
Snap clip pic.
Yeah.
Hey, dude, wake up.
What are we doing?
Wake up.
Oh, sorry guys. I was up all last night texting my girlfriend. You wouldn't know her, but she's really hot.
What are you wearing, Christian?
Yeah, we don't like that. Oh, you mean my Lulu?
Yeah, you can't wear that.
I've always worn Lulu for Spirit Taste Head.
You can't, Christian.
I've literally always
Christian,
done it.
you can't wear Lulu. Turn! Wednesday is camping theme for wild thornberries. Middle school, you will be in camping attire. High school, you'll be in regular dress code because you will be testing. You hear that? There's a squat.
How's the fishing?
Thursday is 70s theme. Break out your dad's jeans and wrangle up a tie-dye t-shirt and let's get crazy.
Yo, Ted.
Yo, what's up?
You see the latest Barstool post?
No, I haven't, dude. That's sick.
Yeah, it's pretty steez, I think.
How'd you get my shirt?
What?
And why are you wearing Lululemon shorts? You're doing better with this theme, but you can't wear Lulu shorts.
Dude, I can't wear my Lulus?
No, you can't wear your Lulus.
Ted, they're literally so comfortable.
You can't wear them, Christian.
The underwear are built
Christian,
in.
you can't wear them! Hey, Mike, you know what Friday is?
No, it's Friday.
Friday's an orange out, leading into the football game against DeSmet, and we're gonna crush them.
Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah!
But who's that?
Oh my gosh, I have no clue who that is, but he is in perfect dress code.
Runs with the four down lineman, but see the three linebackers there behind the 3D lineman.
See, Madden, they tell you video games are bad for you. Come on now.
It's a motion from Christian White, and Devin Roberson running outside, trying to get
pressure.
It's intercepted.
John Kuntz, he will go all the way. Touchdown, John Kuntz. Number 2 on his defensive touchdown.
And is it too early to award the Player of the Game award that I don't actually award, but I'm making up for this set purpose right here?
John Kuntz?
Just about to say something about that. Offensive, defensive, and wasn't he the one that recovered the punt, or the failed punt?
Yes, he was, and he got that touchdown. He almost had a touchdown on offense as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Player of the game right there.
2 defensive touchdowns.
For all my high school fantasy players out there, John Kuntz, you want to pick him up. I'm telling you.
High school
versatile.
fantasy.
Okay?
If only that was a thing.
If only. Great play there by John Kuntz with a nice interception. He leaped for it and he ran. I knew he was gone at the 30. Didn't look back, and he is gone. He's one in the crowd. I get hyped up. John's having a great game. Good for him. You know, we wrote a great essay today in Dr. Arnold's class as well, so kudos.
And John Kuntz is actually in my mentor group, so Monday have to give him some kudos for his great performance today.
And I go to the same school as John Kuntz, so that's about as much of a relationship as I have with him.
It's not about John Kuntz, it's about the team, and that team is up by 2 touchdowns now.
And that team just added an extra point with that after the kick from Adam Schmidt.
Adam Schmidt, special teams player of the game, I might say.
Don't sleep.
It's a It's a race now between player of the game between number 8 and number 88.
No hate on my boy Schmidt, but I mean John Coots has a lot more big plays made.
I don't know.
Are you sure about that?
Maybe. We'll see. Still a lot of game left to play.
Give Schmidt a chance.
Yeah. Love you, Schmidt.
4 for 4 on the PATs so far, so no complaints there for Adam Schmidt.
But I just got, when you're on defense and you make those interceptions and you're gone, the adrenaline that builds up on that kind of stuff, you'll hear it countless times from NFL pros. That's like the greatest feeling when you pick that thing and you know you're gone. It's just Vince Papale, Philadelphia Eagle back in the day, almost got cut from the team, made a pick 6 to win the game, and now he's a Philadelphia legend. It's the small things that make you remembered here.
Especially on such a great quarterback like Roberson, those kind of plays, capitalizing on those mistakes, big energizer.
Especially when it's a bullet coming at you.
Exactly.
And to play off what you were saying earlier, Tristan, it is not even just the energy that John Coutson would have gotten from that play, but it's the energy that everybody else on the team gets from that. And see, just like right there with the tackle getting right on top of the return, making almost no gain really at all on that, pinning him back about the 10-yard line.
As this defense is getting on, one thing I noticed is John Coots started this game just coming on, not saying a word, and he is now the leader of this thing, and he's getting his teammates hyped up. He came off this thing hands up, slapping the chests of all his teammates. He's in this thing to win this thing, and you love to see that from a teammate. It's great motivation.
It really is.
Especially from a junior. You're not even a senior. He's really looking like a leader of the team right now.
A handoff to Malik Jackson running to the outside, running right along the sideline. He finds a ton of space and gets pushed out of bounds by Cam Epps. After crossing into Chaminade territory, he'll be pushed out at around the 40.
That was pure speed right there. We're really lucky that they were there to tackle him because if he didn't have that extra step there, he might have been gone.
It was all because after that there would have been no one back to get him.
By Epps, a 45-yard run, 1st and 10 for Jeff City from the Chaminade 46-yard line.
So here we go.
Devin White motioning, but a handoff to Malik Jackson running back towards the right sideline.
Good move.
And he'll find another open space, but not nearly as much yardage on that play as he falls short of the first down, only getting about 6 or so.
I don't want all my football prestige from Madden, but in that formation they're running, Chaminade's running the 3-3-5. It's mostly designed for a lot of blitzes. You got 3 linebackers. You never know where the pressure's going to come from. I'm sure that Chaminade, I'm just anticipating this, that they recognize that Roberson may not throw the best under pressure, and they're trying to send some weird looks at him to throw him off.
Right, and now Roberson will run the ball, and he'll find a ton of open space. Powers through the tackles, and he's gone for the touchdown.
Can't beat that. That is, wow.
Every time John Kuhn scores a touchdown on defense, Roberson's like, nope, we're getting those points back. That's happened twice now.
And he's just a walking mismatch. He's got the speed. He's got the power. There's not really much the Chaminade defense is able to do.
That is some LeBron James on Isaiah Thomas right there. There is not much you can do. It is an island.
Especially when you're kind of chase him down. It's kind of hard to take him down at the legs, which is what you want to do with a player like him, but it's kind of hard to do when you're chasing him down from behind.
And that when he's so big and has so much strength in him, that balance, it's even harder to knock him down. Whether it's the shortest player on the team or the biggest.
Yeah, when you got that's a tank coming at you. That's a bus. 240, 6'4" coming right at you, running it as hard as he can. Yeah, when you're trailing him, you cannot stop him.
I would compare it more so to like trying to stop a semi-truck going 80 miles an hour with like a Prius.
Don't sleep on the Prius.
NFL comparisons-wise, he really looks like a Cam Newton to me.
I was thinking the same thing this whole time.
Runs fast, breaks tackles.
Not the long pass guy, but the short games where he thrives.
Right.
And so far, it's been pretty effective for Jeff City.
Reminds me of me back in my day.
Where did you play?
Me, Green Bay Packers.
Your illustrious NFL career.
Yeah, before Brett Favre, there was T. Hawatla in the city, so don't forget, boys.
10:09 to go in the third quarter, 28-21. And the ball falls off the tee again.
Once again.
I think the MVP of the game is that little T right there. He has taken a lot of pressure from us. So
a lot of pressure from the wind too.
Oh yeah, big guy out there. Sean Kuhn, step aside. Football tee coming in.
Lamar Johnson on the return now for the Red Devils. He'll run outside, but gets chased down with the tackle from behind. I believe that is number 25 for the Jays. That is Prince Benson.
Yeah, you look at that reception. All the blockers were on the left side of the field. He went right. He only had one blocker with him. 5 guys came at him like hounds and just tackled him down. Communication is a big thing in football, so if you don't got your blockers, there's nowhere you can go.
Chaminade's offense now coming onto the field, trying to get some of that same momentum going that they had in the first half.
Right.
Hopefully we can get another big play going.
Big power set here. No wide receivers out wide.
Yeah, this is a great
Hand off
blocking.
to Amar Johnson, who runs it out. He gets chased down, tackled right at about the 37-yard line.
Joe, what do you call that in Madden?
Kind of look like goal line offense a little bit. I mean, when you got a formation like that, you expect to have a lot of contact. Maybe a solid 5-6 yard gain, but he was largely untouched there until he got tackled. Very, very impressive blocking.
Yeah, great blocking to open up that pocket right on the right side, just to let him break loose.
And then a great job of Lamar Johnson in reading that block, and finding that hole, being able to squeeze through and gain those extra yards.
Another one of those formations.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Lamar Johnson running to the outside of that and tries to go in between the two defenders, but it is no good, but does not work. Number 21 for the Jays, Khalil Foster on the tackle for the Jays.
It's nice to see Amar Johnson. As we said at the beginning, LJ's out, and LJ's a big runner. Last game he had like 225 rushing yards or something, like crazy statistic like that. So to see the sophomore come in and produce what he has, it's great to see. Because when your big guys are out, you need your backups to produce, and he has done that. He is proving himself.
And Amar Johnson with another big run, gaining another first down for Chaminade.
He has proven himself that he can start this game and he can get you 200 yards if he needs to.
Like Jack was talking about, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They keep running the ball to him, and he's got speed. He's not big, but he's got the speed to be able to get into the second level.
That's what I like to see from my fellow 202 members.
Timeout, Jeff City.
Jeff City calls timeout now. Do we have any PSAs now, Tristan? Of course we have some PSAs. We always have PSAs.
Well, not always. We run out eventually.
All right, boys and girls. Make plans now to attend the annual Estovere auction. The event will be held February 9th at the Front Neck Hilton Fancy Dancy. The committees are beginning their work. If you would like to help, contact the advancement office, and we'd love to have you. Again, that's for the Estovere auction on the February 9th.
Yes, thank you, Tristan.
Of course.
Chaminade trying to go for another play. Running the same formation, no wide receivers out there. Probably just
like that goal
presumably just another handoff to Amar Johnson.
Read it, though.
And that's
Good
what they
pitch.
do.
Good blocking on the outside so he can get some yards, but gain of about 3-4.
It's a pretty interesting formation. You get a lot of the backs out right. Interesting. Usually you see a lot of balance there, but you could tell Chaminade's trying to power. I like the sweep call there, though.
Yeah, the sweep call was nice because the linebackers read it because they came right down they came right at the quarterback in the center, and good pitch so he can get some room on the outside just to get some yards.
Gain, second down and 4.
I like the mixture though, outside inside runs, both of them throwing them off a little bit.
Same formation though.
Yeah.
And they're going to go right up the middle again.
And it's working. Run it up the middle.
Working just fine.
It's exemplified here in this possession. As we talked throughout the game of our MVP of the game, whether it's Adam Schmidt or John Kuntz, you decide on Twitter at CSPNCCP. Tweet us out at CSPNCCP. Tell us who you think's the MVP of the game. Whether it's unbiased or biased, we do not care. Just tweet us out at CSPNCCP. We'd love to hear your opinion.
And off of these last few plays, as this time a handoff to Kevin Ray. He moves the pile a little bit.
He took on about 5 guys there.
And just kept going. Although, as I was saying, since Chaminade had been running the same formation, another potential candidate in there that I would throw in there would be Amar Johnson.
Right, I would definitely say both men, John Coons and Amar Johnson, have put on a show tonight, put on a clinic.
Johnson hasn't put the numbers on the score. That'll show up on the scoreboard, really, but in the same way that Coons has, but definitely has given some crucial runs for Chaminade. This time, a handoff toss to Kyoto Setayama, a resident student at Chaminade.
Nice to see them playing. You know, football's kind of that territory where the resident students don't know what it is, and you know, for those guys to actually come out here and play it, you know, kudos to them, because that's like territory they might not know. So good, you know, learning experience for them.
Very.
Uh-oh, Scott's out on the field. Someone's down.
That's Kyoto Setayama.
Uh-oh.
This doesn't look good.
Resident student from Japan, I believe. The one of two Japanese members of the Chaminade football team. Both him and starting offensive lineman and defensive lineman as well, Riku Kasuga.
Right. Well, that's not good to see after his first run.
It really isn't.
You know.
No, go ahead.
Oh, thank you. The one thing you hate to see in, you know, football especially is the injuries, because these guys are putting their heart out on the field, and just one thing, you know, they're hurt. Thankfully, he got up and he's able to walk off, but in some cases, you know, guys can get paralyzed, and it's a dangerous sport. So these guys are putting a lot on the line coming out here every single night and putting it all out there.
As we talked about earlier, Kevin Ray, I really like how he's somewhat of a power complement to Amar Johnson. You've got speed at him 5'11", 155, and you got Kevin Ray coming at 6'1", 215. That's a really good, you know, 1-2 punch there.
I'd have to agree.
Well, it just depends on what Chaminade needs, and at the moment they're choosing power, as Jeff City is not able to bring down Kevin Ray. And he's kept moving the pile again and again, and getting even more yards for the Red Devils, and he'll pick up the first down.
That is a powerhouse right there. As Joe was saying, that 1-2 punch, it works, because, you know, you can't have the two without the one, and the you know, the one's not effective if you don't have the two, so they complement each other perfectly.
It's really kind of a pick your poison in a sense.
Definitely.
Someone like a Deion Lewis, Derrick Henry on the Titans. You got Derrick Henry, big, 6'3" power back. Deion Lewis, short, scrappy.
Chaminade goes with the speed for Amar Johnson, and he gets a good amount of yards. Gains, I want to say about 5.
Say so. Good drive, though, here by Chaminade.
On the carry again, a 5-yard
especially
gain.
Amar Johnson's running, because this possession has been just running heavily.
Have we seen a pass?
I don't think we have seen a pass.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen a pass. And it's working. You know, we're being conservative with the ball, and our offensive formation has looked similar the whole time, and that looks close to a first. I don't know, it might be short.
I believe it's just short of first down. We only a yard. We got, is that 3rd and inches now?
Looks to be.
3rd and 1.
Classic game of running up the middle, maybe.
It's a 3rd down.
We're approaching 6 minutes to go in this 3rd quarter. Chaminade still out in front by a touchdown, 28-21.
I mean, run up the middle might be some kind of a stereotype, but if it works, then go ahead.
If it ain't broke.
I'm going to give it to Kevin Ray.
He is still moving. They cannot bring him down.
Earlier in the broadcast, we were talking about how Chaminade would have trouble tackling, largely with Devin Roberson trying to bring him down. And while that still is true, but now Jeff City's having the problems tackling.
The ball carrier number 10, K.
I just want to see
first down.
I want to see K. Ray on the outside, you know, on a pitch where he's getting loose and he's just hammering a couple defenders. That's a freight train.
You can't overlook his ability as a blocker too.
Oh yeah,
I've seen him out on some of those runs, and when Amar's running, he's pretty good.
Yeah,
he really
is
a
great blocker. And Amar
run
on the
outside to Amar Johnson, who will take it into the end zone for the touchdown. Chaminade now up.
That's a great block on the
6 points.
Great block on the outside by John Coons. I mean, we were talking about Kevin Ray, but Coons I saw over here driving one of the defenders inside when Amar went outside.
You know, as we've been saying the whole time, blocking is essential if you want to run. And this whole possession has been running. Not, as we said, not one pass. But if you got blockers who are giving you the opportunity to find a pocket and run, by all means necessary, we're going to take advantage of it.
And the one time that Chaminade didn't decide to run it up the middle, it seemed to work. It worked. It resulted in the touchdown. So
that is true.
All right, so coming in this possession, I definitely am anticipating some sort of. They're going to run with Robertson. I feel like that's going to be coming. Question is, how does Chaminade stop it?
I don't know, because that's all dependent on where Robertson runs.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, obviously, if he runs up the middle, like we've been doing all that entire last drive, then that's obviously something that the D-line wants to obviously try and do. But
yeah,
most of his running has been around the tackles.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been noticing he's been going primarily outside, and that's where he's in the pocket to find, and that's when he runs. So maybe not going in a blitz, maybe a little zone, be a little more conservative, because it's mostly he's been passing or it's been option runs.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe you run that zone where it's a little more conservative, and the running game might be a little used heavily, but you're preventing him from getting away, and you're preventing the passing game to happen a little more. That's a line drive if I ever saw one.
Devin White with the return on this play,
and
he gets tackled by Grant Finley.
I gotta say, Jefferson City's kick returns have been really solid, and it's nice to see Chaminade get one of those. They had one up to the 50 earlier, and it's really nice to see Chaminade stop him, before the 30.
Yeah, I'd have to agree.
I have to go back on what I said earlier. The tackle was not Grant Finley. It was actually Michael Brightfield. I saw the 4, and I thought it was 44.
It's all right. All is good. Let's see what we got here.
And I hand off to Malik Jackson, running right to the sideline.
Good tackle.
Chaminade.
Ball came loose, but it
Jeff
looks
City
like
still have it?
It is Jeff City ball.
Yeah, looks like they're calling that.
The ball carrier. Defending on the play, number 22, Ryan King.
Ryan King, though, sophomore, with a great defensive play to knock the ball loose and get him down.
And Ryan King really hasn't seen much playing time early on in the season, but he's gotten a big chance to step up now with all the injuries coming to the defense.
Right.
And Robeson runs it up the hole in the middle, but there's a flag on the play.
Looks like a holding call, hopefully. For Chaminade.
I think you're correct in that, Joe. It's holding on the offense.
I believe that's going on number 66 for the Jays. That's Harrison Mobley. Very big right tackle for Jeff City, coming in as a junior at 6'5", 285.
Oh, Lord.
That's big.
That's a big boy.
That's the running back.
That's a big boy. Both their tackles are monstrous, which I guess makes sense for why Roberson
can get away.
Generally tries to run it up.
Second 25, it's interesting what the play call is going to be. Maybe a deep pass, maybe a run with Roberson.
I think a run with Roberson, but as I was saying earlier,
he's in the pocket. He's looking for the pass, but he's going to
deep pass, trying to get it, and he completes it. Devin White with the reception. Huge gain. Not something I would have expected from Jeff City coming into this.
I have a lot of respect for Roberson and the fact that when he's in the pocket, he's very calm. It almost reminds me of Aaron Rodgers. He gets in the pocket, and he is so calm and collected. It looked like he wanted to run, but he saw the open man last glance, and he found it with a bullet right to his chest.
His decision-making has been great this game. He goes to a short pass to Devin White, and he runs and gets tackled right on the 50.
Gain of about 2 or 3 there.
Pass from Roberson complete. Number 8.
Little public service announcement. Boys, the weekly email. You're not receiving the weekly email. We've had a few reports, and it appears that some email providers are marking emails as spam. Please check your junk folders. If you have any questions, contact Mrs. Bowler. You need to check those emails. You don't know what's coming. Harvard could be calling your name, and you don't even know it.
Never know.
Roberson, another pass to Levi Job this time, and he gets no room to run right after. And he gets tackled immediately by, I believe, a combo of both Doug Agnew and Michael Brightfield.
That's an assertive tackle there, driving him back that far.
It really is.
I mean, he gets the catch, but sending a message there with that tackle.
That's a statement.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Gain of 5, 3rd and 2 for Jeff City.
3rd and 2. Jeff City running with 2 receivers to each side of Roberson. Prince Benson lined up directly to his left. And he's got all sorts of time.
Oh.
And almost got picked off by John Kuntz. But the pass sails over into the hands of Ryan Brooks. And so
if John caught that one, oh my Lord.
Actually,
you can tell he wants the MVP. I don't know if he tipped it there, but he at least threw the receiver off.
We might want him as MVP, but do you guys want him as MVP? Tell us on Twitter again, CSPN CCP. Timeout here. I think it's another public service announcement time. This week, our next Sunday, Mother-Son Mass and Brunch. Our annual Mother-Son Mass and Brunch will be held next Sunday, September 23rd. Walk-up registration is available. Cost is $15 per person. Visit www.chaminade-stl.org for details. We hope to see you and all your amazing moms out there. That is this weekend, Sunday, September 23rd.
but let's talk about today right now.
Shall we?
Right here on this 21st night of September.
Yeah.
I can't believe it worked out like this. Friday night. I mean, can't get any better than that.
Can't. Really? What you doing when you get home, Joe? Little Madden?
Actually, yeah. I picked up Madden 19 recently. Been playing that a little bit. You know, I'm a big Ultimate Team guy, franchise.
Gotta grind it.
Gotta grind.
Game's live again, and here we go.
Jeff City running with only 2 receivers now.
It's a 4th down, so they got to be conservative with the ball.
Might be a power run here.
And they're going to give it off to...
Oh, hand off to Roberson.
That was...
That's what it looked like.
That was a good play there.
Remember what I was talking about earlier, how they were going to sub in Devin Roberson at running back?
Yeah.
That's exactly what they did. The handoff from Cole Gresham.
Did they get the first,
Number
though?
3.
It looked like it was inches off.
The refs are bringing it out to go measure. They were trying to go for it.
Yeah, it's a little short.
Personally, thought he got it, but I mean, I'm not gonna. Oh, yeah, they gave it to him.
Yep, it's there. Good call there, Joe.
Oh yeah, I was talking about that earlier. How they were running that in practice this week, and I guess that's what the play was meant for. Plays like that.
Changing up the looks.
Gresham goes back off the field now after being used for that one play.
So here comes 1st down, and
Roberson's back at QB. And Roberson's going to run it. And he's still on his feet.
He caught it.
And the pass is complete. But
gain of nothing.
If there's any gain at all.
I think it was a negative yard. That is that was not Roberson's hottest moment. You know, when you're going in and you know, you got to decide on what you're going to do. If you're going to run it, if you're going to pass it. He was a little confused there, and that led ultimately to a gain of little or nothing.
I think he was just kind of under the impression that Chaminade wouldn't really be able to tackle him, or at least they'd have a lot of difficulty doing it.
But we proved him wrong.
I guess.
Wind down the 3rd quarter here, 2:14 left.
The pass is intercepted.
Is that John Kuntz?
I believe that is.
No way.
Right into the hands of John Kuntz.
Touchdown, John Kuntz.
Flag's down, though. Flag's down. Don't want to get too excited yet. Hopefully holding.
Is intercepted by John Kuntz. Penalty markers on the field.
Uh-oh.
This is on Jeff City. John Kuntz is our unanimous MVP. Have to say it now.
Yes, it is.
I was going to suggest putting a poll on Twitter to vote for the MVP,
I
but
don't think.
Unless we can make
decline, let's go.
Unless we can make all 4 options on this Twitter poll, John Kuntz.
My goodness.
I don't think there's really much need for it anymore.
That was an amazing jump. He read that all the way. That all the way.
If you've seen in this possession, he has been in that pocket, and he has been waiting for the passes. He's almost got his hands on 2 more of those, and on this one, he converts it for a 60-yard touchdown. That is 3 defensive touchdowns.
I'm not sure if it's Roberson's preference to throw right, but I've noticed every single time John Kuntz makes a play, it's to the right side, at least to the opposite side of us.
Right. And I got to give it to John. I have not seen a defensive player like that in a long time. He has showed up tonight, and we are up 42-21.
Beautiful plays from John Kuntz. We're still in the 3rd quarter, folks. Plenty of action left. hopefully plenty more big plays like we just saw right there. Chaminade now scoring 42 points. They're only 3 points off of their season high in points, which they recorded in week 1, right back here at Donald's Field against Belleville East.
As I just heard from Mr. Bell on the announcer, he called it the John Kuntz show tonight, and that is very well the case.
Extremely accurate.
You know, he showed up on offense blocking, almost got a touchdown on a reception. He's been showing up on defense, 3 interceptions and a blocked attempt. He is just doing it all tonight, offense and defense.
Honestly, I feel like, I believe at this moment, John Kuntz, if you took out, John Kuntz is single-handedly beating Jeff City right now, or at least tied. 3 touchdowns.
2 defensive touchdowns for him right now, and the recovery in the end zone.
That's a good point.
And the ball lands on the ground, lands in the hands of Devin White again. He'll run outside onto the sideline and is still in bounds, and he's still on his feet. And after a big gain, he gets tackled at 30 by Danny Sheehan.
Like you said, Jake, this whole game, they've had great reception possessions, and that just puts the cherry on top of a great possession there, running for about 60, 70 yards.
That'll give him good field possession to start off.
Yes, sir.
Chaminade, little things count there. My boy Adam Schmidt, he had a little bit, didn't take him down, but at least slowed him down. He potentially could have been gone had that not happened, but slowed him down and allowed the other tacklers to get there in time.
It's the little things that compound into big things.
Yes, sir.
White with the motion, and they're going to hand it off to Malik Jackson, who's running.
Actually, great play. He's
faked off from Devin Roberson, actually.
No.
And he's going to bully his way into the end zone for a touchdown.
This is some deja vu. John Kuntz pick 6, and then Roberson touchdown. 3 times this has happened now. It's just poetry in motion.
Amazing. I mean, I don't know if it was an option play or not, but the fake to the running back, I think, fooled most of the Chaminade defense.
It fooled me.
at that point, you only got a couple tacklers back, and Roberson just outruns them.
I did not see
he didn't score.
Oh, he's at the 1.
Okay.
He's going to run it up the middle. Let's be real here.
There's no point in doing anything else.
It's Roberson country.
No.
He fooled you again, Jake. Touchdown, Roberson.
I thought they were going to give it to Malik Jackson after they faked the handoff, but nope. Exact same play goes, and now Devin Roberson gets the touchdown.
I'm telling you, every single time he sees that pick 6, he's like, okay, next time I'll just run it. I won't pass it. I'll run it this time. Let's see if he learns from his mistakes in the 4th.
Let's just think, Devin Roberson versus John Kuntz. That has been the essential game so far.
It has been, but don't sleep on Amar Johnson with the running game.
Yeah.
He's been given a lot of running, or he's been given all Chaminade's offense really on the running end, but.
Big ups to that lineman who just sprinted off the sideline.
Some speed.
That is some. Put him at running back, please.
Rivaling John Ross.
And it's good.
28-42, 140 left in the 3rd. We have a great game on our hands. Very entertaining, defensively and offensively. The pick 6 with John Kuntz, the running game with Amar Johnson. Everybody is clicking. This is a great game. Public service announcement number 15, Passport to Fashion. The Mothers Club Passport to Fashion event will be held in the Skip on Thursday, October 18th. Tickets are now on sale. Get your friends together and enjoy upscale boutique shopping, delectable appetizers, tantalizing cocktails, fashions and friends. Go to chaminade-stl.org for more information. You gotta love the words.
Tantalizing cocktails.
In other words, we got cocktails, we got food, and there will be shopping.
All great things. You can't go wrong.
Yeah, don't spend your money yet, boys. Don't spend it on 2K19. Spend it on the fashion show.
Oh,
Here's the kickoff.
I already spent mine on 2K19. And lands in the end zone for a touchback.
Speaking of just football in general, I noticed a different rule in the college football this year. If you call on kickoffs, you call a fair catch on the ball anywhere inside the 25, it automatically goes to the 25. Interesting how they're trying to make the game safer, kind of discourage kickoffs.
Yeah.
Kickoff returns, I should say.
Because one thing we always see is when they're about to call it fair and the guy just comes in, because their focus is up, not straight, and they get hammered.
Yeah.
So it's a great rule. I think that should be in the NCAA.
Cook hands it off to Amar Johnson, trying to run up the middle, but gets caught up in the pile, and so he'll gain nothing, or about a short gain, actually. I believe only about 1 yard.
If I'm Chaminade now, I might try to mix in a play-action pass or something like that. I mean, you've run it probably at least 10 times in a row. I mean, you can see Jeff City's kind of catching on there with only a 2-yard gain allowed. Play-action pass might, the rollout, as we saw earlier, might be a big game.
Right.
And Amar Johnson banging it up the middle inside.
Ooh. It's about 6-7 yards there. Good run. He is being relentless. He's not the biggest guy out there, and he's not the oldest guy out there, but he is holding his own.
He's got that speed, makes him hard to tackle.
Holding call against Chaminade. I don't want to see that.
It's going to be big.
I hate to see it.
Decent run erased right there.
Right.
No, Chaminade gets a 2nd and 20.
Uh-oh.
Pushes him back all the way to their own 10.
Luckily we have a little cushion here with the 42-28 lead, but you don't want to give these things up. These are the little details that matter.
Still the whole fourth quarter to play, too. So
of course.
Anything can happen.
Chaminade running with only 2 receivers right now, so they're going to run it right up the middle.
Oh, he
breaks
breaks
through. Take it outside to Amar Johnson, who gets to right about where the drive initially started, but there's a flag thrown on the play.
Doesn't look good.
I think he made it right back at the line of scrimmage, but I don't know.
Could be some kind of illegal block or holding or something.
See who the flag is on.
Hold on.
It's against Chaminade.
Now what you want to see.
Back to back. That pushes us back even more.
Probably about 2nd and 25, something like that now. Oh.
2 penalties in a row, and Amar has been pushing it. He had a 7-yard and about 11-yard run, and, the penalties matter.
I'm sure he's not really happy. He got 2 decent runs erased.
Right.
It could tire him down a bit. Hopefully he comes out with vengeance, though, trying to get some, revenge on those holding calls.
Yeah, I see Kevin Ray coming in, so I don't know if that's for blocking purposes or running purposes.
Either one, he's good at both.
Yes, sir. So 47 seconds left in the third, 42-28 Chaminade. Still have an entire quarter, so it is anybody's ball. And how these two teams have been playing, it's up in the air.
Looks like that holding call was downfield, so the ball goes 10 yards from the spot.
And Brady Cook
is at the 2.
Gets sacked at his own at a 2 or 1 yard line. I can't tell.
And that's Roberson too, the quarterback, getting that might be the first sack of the game.
QB on QB sack.
Yeah, QB on QB.
Yeah.
But people always, whenever I watch stuff, I always say, why don't you just throw it away? When you're in that situation, it's very difficult when you got a 6'4", 260 guy coming at you. Thank God he was smart enough to put the arm outside of the end zone just so they, didn't get the safety. But, it's extremely difficult in those situations under a lot of pressure.
Watching TV a lot, watching the NFL, you always say, just throw it away. Well, it's not always easy to do that. Sometimes you're still in the pocket. You don't want to get called for intentional grounding.
Exactly.
You're pressured, difficult decisions.
And that is it for the third quarter, folks. Chaminade bench putting up those 4s. It is about to start the fourth quarter. Final frame, last 12 minutes going. This is where it all comes down to. Chaminade up by 2 touchdowns. What do you guys expect to come from this fourth quarter?
I'm expecting John Kuhn's pick 6. Fourth and final time for the fourth. I'm expecting a Roberson big prediction.
Just bullying people?
He is going to bully it for at least a 60-yard carry for a touchdown. That is a bold prediction, and it is going to happen. I'm on my Stephen A. Smith. And then we're eventually going to win it at, what's the score going to be? What am I feeling? 40, it's going to be 49-35. I like that score. I'm going to stick with it.
I like you. I think Roberson also, I think they're going to go back to the run with him. I don't know if they risk going to the short passes anymore. That's has been all over those, at least on the right side. I do think Chaminade will win. I think they'll cut it closer, maybe a 49-42 win for Chaminade. That's my hope and my prediction.
It seems like the way they're going to have to go with it from now on is going to be run from either Roberson or Malik Jackson.
Quick pass just to get out of there.
And trying to get it to Jabin Johnson.
Gain of about 9 yards, which is nice. So now a little less pressure on our quarterback so that he can actually make a play happen.
Or just make a punt happen.
Right,
4th down
yeah.
now
Still
for
20
the Red
yards out.
Devils. 4th and 20.
Some room to punt. That's always good.
Yeah, because this is what happened, in that first quarter where John Coons blocked it for the touchdown, the punt in the red zone. So
Brady Cook has been solid with the punting so far this
Oh,
year.
and the
his
block
gets
happens.
blocked.
You hate to
and
see
that
it.
gets recovered by Devin White, and he brings it in for the touchdown.
Did I call it or did I call it?
Wait.
Come on,
That was
boys.
uncanny.
I'm confused.
And that's why space is important. They would have liked to get more there, but just great. I mean, great block.
Yeah, it is a great block.
I feel like this is the movie I'm thinking of Groundhog Day, where basically it's like they're reliving the same day over and over
Yes,
again.
That is Groundhog Day.
That is what I'm thinking of.
This is deja vu at its
Deja
finest.
vu.
This is Groundhog Day, the football
They're
game.
just reversing it. They're reversing the teams.
I mean, you got Coons pick sixes, you got block punts. We're seeing just the same thing over and over pretty much.
But it's entertaining.
Exactly.
I'll tell you that.
Now I'm just going to wait for it basically to start becoming opposite day instead of Groundhog Day. And then I expect next I expect Brady Cook to just muscle his way through and just stiff arm the entire
Well, the,
Jeff City team.
The point after attempt no good is interesting. Now that they're down to 8, so any touchdown they score probably have to go with a 2-point conversion, which could be different. I mean, you could change the game.
Honestly, that'd be another situation where it'd just be, you know who to give it to. Where's number 6? Just have him play running back for a down and bring him in.
Yeah, putting Roberson in there and for a 2-yard run is probably your best bet.
It's been working.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here we go with the kickoff. Great block there from the defense to get that touchdown. Reminiscing of the first quarter, 42-34.
I'm going to predict that the ball does not stay on the stand the whole time.
Bold.
Oh, well,
The
no,
fourth quarter
actually,
is
it still seems to be on.
It's the quarter of predictions. Did they miss the field goal?
They did.
Yeah. That's what I was talking about. They need a 2-point conversion now just to tie.
Well, my prediction is in the dirt. Here we go.
Both the Johnsons back to return. Lands behind Jabin Johnson, but it lands in the end zone, so it doesn't necessarily matter. Chaminade gets the touchback.
I give it to their kicker. He is putting it in the end zone every single kick where we can't even return it half the time.
Hey, Jake, was it you telling me about this earlier today? That their kicker was pretty much touchback every single time.
I believe so, yes.
Yeah. I mean, great leg.
One of the things to kind of go off on a bit of a tangent, one of the things that I noticed earlier about Jeff City, which I thought was interesting, was just how seriously they take their high school football over in that area, since they don't have professional sports teams.
Right.
Those pro teams, those high school teams, kind of are treated like those pro teams.
Right.
And you know how, in a lot of circumstances, like a local NFL player will go visit kids at the elementary school and kind of take pictures with them and go do that. But guess who I saw on the Jeff City Twitter was taking a visit to the local elementary school in a similar fashion that a professional player would do.
Who's that?
The same guy we've been talking about all game, Devin Roberson. There's a picture of him on the Jeff City football Twitter.
Uh-oh, as we're speaking, we see it down. Sorry to interrupt you, but I don't know who's down. I don't know who that is.
Hard to tell.
Cannot see.
I cannot tell, but it's not good to see. Again, this sport is just very vigorous on the body, and this happens so frequently, and it's terrible, and you just gotta hope these guys are okay, because happens one time okay, but this is happening night in and night out to these guys, so it takes a lot of courage to get out on that field and go one-on-one with a guy who's 6'5" and 300 pounds, especially the guys in the pro. 1 second you're playing, 1 second you're not. It's tragic, but they, round of applause to these guys because they suck it up.
And injuries like that can change lives. Even in high school, do something to your leg, you can't drive to school anymore. That's really gonna affect how you're gonna live.
Who was the college player? Was it Ivy Johnson? He played on Tennessee. He was projected top 10 pick 8 days before the draft, paralyzed. Stuff,
Absolutely terrible to see.
Although on that play, coming off the field, the injured player was number 85, Jack Wall.
Ooh, John Kuntz there. Oh!
Still going.
No, I think it was recovered.
Oh, it was recovered.
Yeah. It was on the ground, and immediately Kevin Ray picks it up and runs with it for another 5-6 yards. Very good play there. Good assertiveness.
Chaminade gets the first down.
Yeah. I'll take it.
Always take more first downs.
But back to what you were saying, Jake, on Roberson going to visit, the elementary kids. For athletes, you're more than an athlete, but you're a role model to so many people. Because there are middle schoolers right now who are looking at these high school guys at Chaminade and thinking they're the greatest thing they've ever seen. So, it's a big responsibility to be an athlete. Because, everything you do on the field, affects somebody who's watching. And, go in and do those little things like visiting. Like when Jason Tatum comes back to his high school and, does the camps and, comes out and just says hi to everybody. It's great to see giving back to the community that gave so much to you.
As a professional athlete, it's not necessarily almost required of you, but, it's something a lot of professional athletes do. But seeing him from a high school athlete like Roberson, that's very big.
As Amar Johnson picks it up the middle.
Good run there.
Breaks it all the way through the initial line of defense. And then gets brought down after picking up the first down for Chaminade. Just under 10 minutes left in the game. Chaminade's still up 42-34.
We talked a lot about John Kuntz this game, and rightfully so. But again, Amar Johnson has been putting on a clinic in the running game.
Mm-hmm.
He has at least 150 yards, if not more. And he has every drive been averaging at least 6 yards. So I really do give it to him.
Underrated MVP of the game right there.
I'd agree. Marcus Marshall there with a 2-yard, 1-yard pickup. Marcus, a sophomore. Again, with all these juniors injured, the sophomores have been stepping up defensively and offensively in the form of like Amar Johnson and Marcus Marshall. So, it's nice to see these young guys, come. Because if you look by the roster by class, there's 10 seniors, 19 juniors, and 16 sophomores. So they're there.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to be here for a while.
Good for the future of the program.
Right.
The rest below the play dead.
Oh, timeout Chaminade looks like.
Right
That's
before
what it
the
appears
snap.
to be.
Timeout, Chaminade.
All right, we're going to have to do our last public service announcement. Social media. We talked about CSPN's Twitter at CSPNCCP. We do wish that and hope that you follow us, tweet at us, whatever you're thinking. But if you want to keep up to date with all that's going on at Chaminade, games and such, follow We Are Chaminade on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Again, that's We Are Chaminade to understand, to see what's happening with clubs, sports, schedules. It's really nice to follow them so you're always updated. So on Facebook, Insta, Twitter, We Are Chaminade. Jake, how long have you been CSPNing here? It's your senior year.
Sorry, was that?
How long have you been doing CSPN?
I joined at the beginning of last football season. So
This is
beginning of my
actually,
junior year.
My first game doing CSPN. I've always been interested in it.
Awesome.
But I never really I've done it, and having a great time with you guys.
Yes, I'd have to agree. It's been a great night, both of you. Welcome, Joe, to the family. It's never too late for a senior. Good run there by Amar Johnson, but he stopped, and that's how guys get paralyzed when you're when you're sitting and someone hits you right there.
I didn't look good.
It
but
didn't. He got
hopefully he's
folded.
okay.
He seems fine, though, coming out of it.
But
Although, yes, I actually asked Joe to come to this broadcast, help bring things, or help add some other people to talk to during this broadcast. Because for the last few games, I've been doing them by myself.
Right.
And it brings a lot of dead space.
But we've had a dynamic trio tonight.
That we have.
My older brother Thomas, shout out to Thomas Hawatma. He did CSPN for 4 years. He graduated, and he's in college now. But I remember the first game I ever did, freshman year basketball. And, it's a really fun experience to CSPN. So if any of you are ever interested in it, come up to any of us three guys. Come up to Garrett Willie, Braden Luchtefeld. Come up to the guys and, just tell us, if you're interested in it. Because it's definitely a fun experience. And I've never, ever, in any game I've ever announced, had 3 people do it. And it's been a great dynamic tonight.
It's a new thing for me, going from one person for the past 3 weeks or so, and now going to 3.
I think we can keep this up. We can have a nice little CSPN group for football and soccer, and why not basketball?
Why not?
The plan at the moment is to have me and Tristan be the duo for that.
Basketball, yes, sir.
We will be bringing you that here on CSPN once that season comes around.
And remember, boys and girls who are listening, come out to all sporting events. All are welcome. We love to see you, and always tune into CSPN. Get updated with basketball, football, baseball.
Well, actually, I should say, no, don't tune in to CSPN, because you should be here supporting Chaminade watching the game.
Well, if you live in, we had a serviceman in Afghanistan watching CSPN. So on a soccer game, and I gave him a shout out. And his son was on the SLU soccer team. Wow. And to see him tune in to see his son while he's fighting overseas for our country, it was beautiful. And, little old, CSPN, a father's watching it thousands of miles away. So it's a cool little aspect.
That's great. That's great to hear.
Back to the football game. 7:30 left in the game. 42-34.
Surely they have to expect a punt. And no one back.
Hopefully we get there so we can stop it at the 1. Stop right there. 1 yard line.
No.
Just missed it. They were gunning it down.
Good hustle, but just couldn't get there in time.
That's where you need a Keyshawn. That was Keyshawn Campbell. I was about to say. I'm going to have to tell him he should have caught that Monday in Mr. Grummick's drama class.
Great class.
It is a great class. Mr. Grummick, if you're listening, we love you. All of us.
That was a bold strategy from Jeff City on that last play.
It was. Well, my prediction, I don't know if it's going to come true.
Chaminade's defense got to hold up here. I think if Chaminade stops them and puts up points, they got a really good chance of winning.
I'd have to agree. This is a big drive.
Fake handoff from Roberson.
Oh, my goodness.
And
couldn't stay around the tackle, though. It was a pretty solid tackle. Wrapped him up below the waist.
Counting up the tackles, John Kuntz this game has 3 tackles. To go with 3 picks.
2 touchdowns.
Or two picks, 3 touchdowns, and a pump block. Nice accolades.
That's a career day right there.
That is a career day. He will not forget that one.
Mm-hmm.
There's the snap.
Run to Malik Jackson running out to the left sideline.
Good run
and he's still on his feet, but gains only about a yard on the play, if anything.
Joe, we talked about Madden a lot tonight. Back in the day, my cheese play that I run every time was an outside route where you just hit that little slant on the outside with your running back, and you go to the outside and you're gunning it. When you get to the outside, the blocking is so focused on the center that it becomes so much more accessible on that outside to get just like 3-4 more yards.
Mm-hmm.
Roberson in the pocket. The pass intended for Devin White is no good. Smothered by Jabin Johnson on defense.
Yeah, great defense there by Jabin Johnson. If we got a pick there, and I think that would have been the fork in the knife, or the fork in the knife. The knife and the whatever you call it. I don't know any analogies anymore. It's been a long week.
I thought the phrase was nail in the coffin.
Whatever it is, knife in the drawer, nail in the coffin.
Metaphors.
Ham in the oven. I don't know. Run it up the middle.
Been the strategy to go with, and that's what they did again.
Way to stop Roberson there. I mean, it was a 3rd and 10 play. I mean, Roberson run is almost expected. Got up the middle, only got about 6 yards. It was very good tackling.
Very good blocking.
Trey Hackle on the stop.
Another underrated player that I've seen doing a great job in this game has been Trey Hackle, being able to stop Corey Suttle, the 3-star recruit that we mentioned earlier.
We haven't heard a lot from him.
No, not at all. And that's been thanks to Trey Hackle doing a great job blocking on both ends of the ball.
Like I said early in the game, the linemen don't get the recognition they rightfully deserve. For a 3-star recruit to be held up by our Hacklets, great to see. And the linemen are the team. You know, they're the heart of the team.
Part of the team. Yep.
They've been having a great game as well.
They have. This game, I really have seen a nice aspect, you know, a good change for the future for Chaminade football. I think this has been a game at home where we have had the energy, and we use that energy to our advantage. Flag goes up. It's going to be on Jabin Johnson, I believe.
I got to say, the option out of the shotgun with Roberson at quarterback is extremely hard to defend. Because you almost expect him to go the middle, but he can always hand it off right. But obviously a penalty marker there. I really like how Chaminade treated the running back on the option. Because you got Roberson in the middle, guaranteed decent amount of yards. Robinson's a beast, but Chaminade's done a really good job of stopping the running back on the option. Yeah,
Malik Jackson really didn't have much to go at all and got tackled in the backfield. And then there's another penalty against Jeff City. And so that penalty will lead to a 2nd and 13 for the Jays.
Good stop there by the Red Devils. From the pocket.
Roberson looking to get it to Levi Job.
Good stop there. He swatted it right out of his hands. That's
Louis Provost.
Great stop there by Provost because, you know, he caught it, but if he didn't come to slap it out of the hands, that would have been a
completion.
Of 13.
And it could have potentially been gone. We have an injury on the field.
Is that Lewis?
No, I think it's a wide receiver for Jeff City.
No, that's a Chaminade player.
Where's Chaminade?
I can't see who the number is. He's being surrounded by coaches.
Must have been a bench player. I see all 11 men out there on the field. Look fine.
That's a good point. Yeah. It's unfortunate to keep seeing this in a game, you know. The energy, you know, the stakes are high and the energy's there, and, you know, people hit you in the wrong spot and it could turn out to be the worst. But let's see. Hopefully he's getting up fine because, you know, one hit from a big guy in the wrong spot, it could really hurt. And he seems hurt, but
that's
Jabin
Johnson.
You know, he's been prone. He's had injuries for the past 2 years with his arm, leg, but I think it is his wrist. You know, kudos again. Kudos for these guys to get up and, you know, brush it off and go back out there.
Even after your teammate goes down, they still play hard. Don't let them phase them. That's
exactly.
really good.
We have 5:30 left in the fourth. 42-34, Chaminade on top.
3rd and 13 for the Jays as Roberson runs the ball. Who else?
Another option play there. I mean, you expect a Roberson keeper. I'm honestly surprised they run it there on 4th and 13. They have a lot of faith in Roberson, which is rightfully so, but great stop by Chaminade.
So now it'll be a 4th and 9 for Jeff City. You'd think they'd punt it.
Right. Yeah, I think that's the plan here with 5 minutes left. You don't want to risk anything.
And Jeff City's got another timeout.
One thing we've seen with the running game, because after, you know, John Kuntz interceptions and so many, you know, missed catches, is they've gone to the running game, but Chaminade has stopped every run in the past, you know, the second half. Roberson's had, like, great possessions, but we've stopped a lot of them. You know, they do that, you know, fake to the outside, you know, with their running back, and he'll run it up the middle, but we stop him immediately now. We've read it so well, and that's what you like to see from a defense, is that throughout the game they're developing with the other team's offense, and they're learning from their mistakes, and they're, you know, taking advantage of the play.
Yeah, and I really like to see that they are making those adjustments, because I think Chaminade's defense now knows that Jeff City is straying away from the passing game because we have John Kuntz, and he's been everywhere for us. And so now they're trying to get him, or they're trying to run the ball up the middle more, and so now they're the linebackers and the D-line are more aware of that now, and so now it allows them to be able to try and stop it since they can see it coming now.
Right.
It's loud here. Crowd's getting into it.
Big stop for the Red Devils potentially. They're going to try and go for it. Devin Roberson,
a pass.
And he's going to try and run it.
Great
and
tackle.
Gets brought down in the backfield by Michael Brightfield.
That's a big stop there.
What a play from Michael Brightfield.
Marcus Creer goes over to push him, you know, like father, like son. But that is an amazing play. Roberson, in that possession, that whole drive could not go anywhere. He was getting stopped left and right.
I think if Chaminade could keep this up and put up some kind of points here, good shot at winning. I don't want to count out Roberson and Jeff City yet, but I like our odds if we put up some points here. I expect a lot of runs up the middle, waste some clock.
Starting off with great field position here as Cook's going to hand it off to Kevin Ray, who runs it up the middle.
Very good gain there. That's 8-9 yards. Straight power up the middle. I like the form. I really like this formation that they're running. They've run a decent amount of times this game.
They have. They've been able to switch it up, balance the passing and running game a little bit.
But a very entertaining game, I'd say so.
To say the least.
We have a very tight formation.
Another handoff to Amar Johnson, trying to go up the mid, but gets brought down.
I do like they're running out the clock, though, because, I mean, you get at least 30, 40 seconds off the clock each play.
Yep.
And at least if you're not going to put up points, take a couple minutes off the clock.
Right. And at this point, they don't even really need touchdowns per se.
It's all about time management.
Yeah.
Yep.
And even then, they're within a good enough range to where if they don't get the first down on this next play, Adam Schmidt can come out and kick a field goal.
First down will be
possession game.
And that's what happens. And
That's
what
a big stop for Jeff City.
That is. And now Chaminade, I believe, will be forced to kind of go for the field goal.
See, Adam Schmidt wins this. We'll put him in the MVP conversation again.
That's a long kick, though. That's it's about, I'll say 45 yards. I don't know if Schmidt has that range. No offense to Schmidt, but high school kickers.
That's some NFL.
That's some NFL type of range. And even NFL kickers miss those.
But Brady will come back out.
They're going to go for it.
I like the play call here, honestly.
Yeah, you don't want to.
You're not necessarily in field goal range, but you don't want to punt it. Just go for it here.
Tight formation. It looks like a pitch. And
Running
it will
to
be a
Mark
pitch.
Johnson on the outside. And does he get the first down?
Did they give him the first?
It looks so close, and they will.
The refs are going to side with Jeff City. They're going to say no.
No. It's inches.
It's a turnover on downs.
Fumble on the play, recovered by Jeff City.
Oh, it's a fumble, but recovered by Jeff City.
That. Interesting. I thought he might have had the yardage,
right.
But the fumble, I guess, that's changed the decision there.
I thought he had that one.
Perception is everything. Over here on the right side of the field, we don't know what's happening over there, and we missed something important.
So this is a key defensive. 3 minutes left. I think if Chaminade, I believe Jeff City's out of timeouts. If Chaminade gets a stop here, they can just mostly run out most of the clock.
Because if they score and get the 2 possession, it's a tie ball game.
Mm-hmm.
And short run there, only a gain of about 5 or so from Roberson.
Chaminade's all right with those. Short gains this close to the game being over don't hurt you as much as they do, in the earlier minutes of the game.
And Roberson's going to power it up the middle again, moving the piles. Still not on the ground. And he's still on his feet.
Somebody tackle him.
And he gets the first down. Gains about 15 yards. And I want to say about 10 of those coming after the contact.
Yeah, he got in that pile before the first down mark, and by the end, he was about 10 yards past.
That is something new.
That is power. When 22 guys are trying to push you down, and you are moving against everything, that is power.
And that's what they're going to stick with going forward. Devin Roberson again. He's taking over.
He's saying, I don't need the passes and I don't need the running back. Let me put this on my back.
Just give me the ball. Everybody else get out the way. It's been the motto for Devin Roberson so far.
Has.
If you're Chaminade, I'd all out, not necessarily all out commit, but basically be playing the Roberson run. I don't think they're going to pass it. Could to throw it off guard, but I would honestly, Roberson's the one you got to stop right now.
They really haven't passed much at all. And they're going to pass it right here.
That's a
deep pass from
deep
Roberson.
Pass. He misses it right off the chest plate.
Looked like it almost got picked, but
right as I say something about that, they actually throw it deep. Threw me, I'm sure Chaminade off guard, but good play call.
It'll be 2nd down and 10 now for the Jays. Just over 2 minutes left in the game. 2:02 to be exact.
winning this game is a huge momentum builder for Chaminade after 3 straight losses, 1 and 3. This is such a confidence booster to a team with powerhouses like Roberson. Where we can take them down. It's like such a confidence booster for this team.
Another one of those option plays. I'm not sure it's much of an option play. I feel like they're really just keeping it with Roberson anyway. Good on Chaminade for only 1 yard gain right there. Big third down.
Crucial down right here for the Red Devils. This will be a handoff to Malik Jackson running outside to the right. Still running vertically. Gets the sideline. And he's out of bounds before he can get that first down.
Good push there by Provost.
Not by much, though. It'll be a 4th and 1.
Yeah, this is where Chaminade has to stack at least 7 guys on the box and just rush everyone up the middle.
Yeah.
You can expect a Roberson run here.
Right. John Kuntz yelling out his guys to get fired up. He's really leading this team.
They're bringing Subtle on this play. Interesting.
We haven't heard much. We talked about him before the game, but he hasn't produced little to anything so far.
And Roberson runs up the middle, and he'll get that first down.
And some.
So Subtle comes in on offense to block for Roberson. Interesting play call.
Smart, though. Gets the desired goal.
Right.
1:25 left. Chaminade still up by 12 points.
Same exact play call.
Good tackle.
Good play. Chaminade right at this time.
Chaminade defense, though, because it's it's anybody's ball game with a minute left. We got another down player.
Oh no, another Chaminade player.
That is Riku Kasuga, number 60.
Looks like I think it's his arm.
Chaminade's leader on the defensive line.
I feel like we've seen a lot more injuries today than we usually do.
Yeah,
I feel so too.
4 Chaminade downs.
Something with his leg.
Yeah, it's his leg. Yeah, that's. When you're on the line and you guys are going low, 2 big guys, 250 plus. You go for the legs and you sweep. You could fall on it and someone hops on you to get the ball. You have 250 pounds on your leg. That's not good. You
see linemen in the NFL break their legs like that all the time. At least sprain something like that. That's what, honestly, what probably the biggest injury problem for NFL or pretty much all offensive linemen are.
Yeah, it's a very dangerous position to play, but somebody has to do it. Let's hope he can walk it off.
Hopefully. And while I hate to switch the mood on us all, next week we have to talk about next week's game while we have this time. Next week, Chaminade returns to their MCC matchups. They'll be right back here at Don Olms Field trying to get their first conference win of the season, playing the DeSmet Spartans on Friday, September 28th, right back here at 7 o'clock. And you can guarantee that we will be bringing you that game right here on CSPN. So stay tuned for us to bring you that game and all the action that game will ensue.
And I know you want to hear all 3 of our beautiful voices, so we'll try to be there for you, gents.
Roberson looking to pass it. Long pass, wide open to Christian White. And it's touchdown.
That is a big play and a big mistake on the free safety and the safeties on Chaminade. You cannot let a minute left in the game, a man open, wide open in the defense. Sure, you're up by 2 touchdowns. You let that happen. But that is the game changer because this game was ours. And, it's still ours by 2 points. But that is just a big mistake there on the defense.
Stop here wins it for Chaminade. No timeouts. They could just kneel it. Let's see what happens here.
Right.
This is going to be the play that I think defines this game now.
If it's it's probably a Roberson, run. That makes the most sense.
Don't expect anything different.
And it is nothing different. He will get in there
and run it right in. And so now Devin Roberson ties the game at 42-all.
The touchdown there. You see it a lot in the NFL. It confuses defense. Somewhat of a switch concept. You have the outside receiver kind of run in, and the inside receiver kind of run out, which really throws off the defense. The safeties, cornerbacks get confused.
Right. That is we have a ball game. This has been one of the best games I've seen in a while. There's been mistakes on both ends, but it's entertaining.
Very competitive. Now this is going to be a very crucial 53 seconds now.
So we have 53 seconds. Joe, what do you expect from the kickoff, and what do you expect from their defense and our offense?
Honestly, I think Chaminade will just let the kickoff go, get the possession. I don't remember if it's at the 20 or 25-yard line, but still decent field position regardless. But honestly, 53 seconds left. I wouldn't be surprised if you see a Keyshawn, deep ball to Keyshawn.
That's what they did a lot in the game against Vianney when that passing was going. They ended up getting, I believe, a total of 3 touchdowns with Campbell.
6'3" wideout, you got to hit him
Right.
in these kind of situations.
Right now, we want to conserve time because we don't want to run it for nothing and waste that clock. But, yeah, we're going to have to – if we're running it for yards in the final minute, we're running it to the outside so we can go out of bounds, and then we're going to go for that bomb, I think. That's probably the ideal situation. Here comes the kick. He's probably going to kick that thing out of bounds. Right into
Long
the end
ball
zone.
lands in the end zone in the hands of Javen Johnson. It's a refs will call a touchback.
So 54 seconds, 42-42. This is a ball game on our hands. Let's see what the Chaminade offense, led by QB Cook, Brady Cook, can do.
This is one of those defining moments for a Chaminade career. If he can get a game-winning drive going here, and that's going to be one of his he's in one of his greatest games for his career.
And I'm curious to see what they'll do. Will they play the hot hand because John Kuntz is on the field right now? Will they play the hot hand, or can they stick with who's been their best receiver and recently, being either Keyshawn Campbell or even Doug Agnew?
Right.
Both have been very good for the Red Devils so far. In the game against Vianney, Keyshawn Campbell had 3 receptions, totaling 113 yards and multiple touchdowns.
He's in the pocket. He's going.
And that lands.
Doug Agnew with a big missed catch. If he made that one, that would have been great field possession.
Play call was interesting there. I liked it. I believe they had 2 receivers streaking downfield, and Doug Agnew kind of came in the middle there. Good. He might have dropped that scared of a hit or something, but almost intercepted. Good play by him to actually break that one up.
Very good play.
Thank God that ball didn't get intercepted because it was right in front of a defender's hands. That could have been very unfortunate and bad position for the Red Devils.
The good thing is the deep routes kind of looked open. Doug was pretty open. I don't know if Jeff City's going to try to play that now, but who knows?
He's going to go for a trick play now. Javen Johnson
they read it.
Gets tackled at the 5.
Loss of 6 yards. They try to go with the lateral, but read like a glove.
This isn't the worst thing. Obviously, this is not a very good play for Chaminade, but
clock's ticking.
They don't have any timeouts. You don't have to punt to them. At this point, I'm pretty sure they can just take a knee and end the. If they prefer, I would definitely suggest that, being so far back.
Right.
But take it to OT. See what you can do there.
I think they're going to let it run, and then they're going to take a knee and end this thing, take it to overtime.
Yeah, there's enough time. They can let it run out.
We do not have the field position, and you don't want to risk anything where it's a safety. Ball game's over. That was a big defensive play there, though. Great read by the defense to read the pitch, and they got it.
And so that is it for regulation, folks. Now we're going into overtime. First one that I've experienced in my Chaminade broadcasting career.
Likewise.
Obviously, likewise, it's my first game.
Welcome to the fun, Joe. This is a great game to be your first.
For sure.
We've got a great overtime coming up. I'm now somewhat concerned because with the way recent plays have been going, with the touchdown, the 2-point conversion, the big stop on defense for Jeff City, all of that momentum seems to be in the hands of the Jays now going into this overtime.
So. Yeah, I'd have to say that Chaminade has to pick it up. We had all the momentum going into those first 3 quarters. But fourth quarter, I think, was Jays' quarter. They came back on long drives led by, just running it up the middle, just pure strength. And it all depends in overtime how Chaminade wants to do that because they have the momentum right now, having back-to-back scores and defensive stops. So we'll see.
I'm not really sure how high school overtime works. If it's like the NFL, it's a field goal doesn't win it, touchdown does. Do you guys even?
I believe I'm familiar with how college football is doing. They start at the 25.
Oh, is it those? Okay.
I think that might be how it goes. I think it's. I know how college football does it, so it might be that. But
personally, I think NFL should adopt the college overtime, but it's a topic for another day.
I'd agree.
I'm personally not sure either how these things work, how overtimes work in high school.
So there will be looks like a coin toss here.
Doug Agnew's going out there by himself.
Only captain going out.
Bold move.
That is a bold move. I don't know.
Meanwhile, the Jays put all 4 captains out there. Roberson, Christian White, Ryan Brooks, and Corey Suttle.
One thing we have done well, like we said, though, stop Corey Suttle to literally virtually nothing.
Yeah. I've honestly been very impressed with that. Going into the game, I was expecting him to tear us up, but we've done an amazing job of containing him.
We have. Because in that game against SLU, they had a ton of trouble trying to contain Corey Suttle.
Insane.
And to where he could do really whatever he wanted.
Looks like the Jays might be getting the ball here. Looks like Doug Agnew was pointing out the direction he wants to go. Might be wrong. Yeah, I think that's what it is. Honestly, the Jays winning the toss is not the greatest news for Chaminade because you have an offense that. Wait, was the offense out there? Looks like we have the ball.
We do have the ball.
I guess I was confused there.
Cook and the rest of the offense now come out.
So it starts at the 25-yard line. Is it I going to believe, is it touchdown to win or is it a clock?
I believe in college it is.
It's a touchdown for one team and then it has to be a stop on the other end.
Okay, so both teams have to have an opportunity.
So if Chaminade were to kick a field goal and the Jays were to score a touchdown, the Jays would win.
Yes.
But if Chaminade scores a touchdown, Jays still have a chance to respond.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard to stop when you have Roberson pushing it like he has. Big drop. That's a big drop.
They sent the blitz there, too. That screen was largely pretty open. No one would have prompted the drop there, but don't want to see that.
John Kuntz with the drop. Don't want to see that. It's not a good way to start because every down counts.
Every down counts.
Especially in overtime. And that could have been a gain for at least 5. So this is a big second down here because we are in great position to score.
25-yard line, pretty close.
Outside.
Cook, deep pass to Jabin Johnson.
Touchdown, Jabin Johnson. What a catch in the corner as he dives for it. That is called a touchdown. That is a beautiful catch and a beautiful pass by QB Cook right into the midst of Jabin Johnson.
Amazing play. Actually, Madden 19, this is one of the cheesiest plays in the game. You get the fake screen wheel. It looked like there was a receiver down by the line of scrimmage looking for the ball. You fake it to him, go deep. What a play call.
Beautiful play calling.
That is the drive of the game, of course. That is the most important drive. And what a perfect pass and catch. He dove for it, close to out of bounds.
And then Adam Schmidt's PAT is good. And now Chaminade is officially up by 7. That
Still
is
perfect on PATs.
Still
you
perfect
called
on the season.
game 49-42.
It's like this. I might be the best first commentator. Didn't expect an overtime, though, that's for sure. Did not expect overtime.
It is 9:30 p.m. here at Don Holmes Field.
We got a great game for you.
We have a phenomenal game. This crowd is livid. The players are into it. Father Ruff's getting into it. Everybody's into it.
Gotta love that.
Gotta love the pats on the back.
Hopefully now with Jeff City having all that momentum going into the overtime, hopefully that play can kind of swing things back over.
So let's think of the big picture. You're on the 25-yard line. You have 4 downs, and you have Devin Roberson.
You got to score a touchdown. You go to your best guy right here. Got to go to your best guy.
You're securing your runs, and that's what I'm going to presume. I would not expect a throw here.
No, and that's exactly what they do.
Exactly what he does.
Right up the middle, but they don't get
yards.
anything on that play.
It's the same. It's the same call we've been seeing constantly. You got the receiver in motion, the running back option fake, Roberson up the middle. We've seen that a lot today.
A 3-yard gain first.
Big possession. Second down, they're going to probably look to run on a second down here.
I think.
It looks like I don't know if it's going to the outside, but pocket throw. Beautiful route. He'll get the first down. Great button hook there.
Great play call. Short little curl route, stopped right at the first down line. Chaminade was playing a little deeper, and then then the ball went. So good play call.
I think Chaminade was trying to anticipate the deep pass, like what we experienced from Brady Cook coming the other way.
So it's a first on the 11th or 12th on the 15th. Excuse me. Big first down here.
Devin Roberson tries running it, but gets caught in the pile, and so he'll be brought down. Very little gain, only about a yard.
They're keeping the Chaminade defensive line honest because you don't want to commit run entirely. So he's kind of showing him the run play, but then hitting with the pass play. So Chaminade doesn't really know what to expect. I mean, decent play calling here, but I honestly just protect the sticks. That's the key part here.
Yeah, and Chaminade I think has done a very good job on these last few possessions, or on these last few downs of keeping the run play fine.
Touched.
My apologies. I thought Chaminade had done a great job so far of stopping the run play for the most part.
Yeah.
But I thought that them stopping the passing game had been a little suspect as of recent. As like the last play, the pass to Christian White, the completion before that, not the incompletion that you just thought.
Right.
This is an interesting situation because you got 2 more downs. I mean, you got to go for it on 4th down because you're down a touchdown. You got a touchdown to tie.
Of course.
So what do? You run it here, pass it here. We'll see what they do.
Crowd is into it. Feet are stomping. This is the atmosphere that we love to see. He goes outside. Big tackle. Huge tackle.
And guess who it is?
John Kuntz.
Of course. Who else?
Of course it's Kuntz.
Big game John with a beautiful tackle there. He was open if it wasn't for that tackle because he could have ran with it.
And this is it. They call a timeout. One more play. If they don't get a first down, the game's over. Chaminade wins. Big play call here.
They need to get at least 10 downs to even keep the game alive.
I'm going to presume it is a pass because you cannot risk a run right now.
Especially with how they just stopped him right there.
It's got to be shotgun formation into slants. That's just my presumption. And someone's going to get open. But hopefully our safeties are there and our linebackers are there.
I agree. I don't think you hit him with the long pass. You know, they want to overthrow their short pass.
Exactly.
First down. I think that's what you need to do if you're the Jays. But I don't want to give them any advice.
But I would presume they're going to try and throw it to Christian White because that's been the guy that they've been going to the most on offense so far tonight.
Right.
But
you notice our nose tackle Riku. He is on. He's out hurt. That's a big part of the line right there in Riku on the nose tackle. But we're holding our own on the line. It just happens to be, if they pass, how the linebackers and the safeties are reacting.
So now this is it right here. This is the play.
It is loud. Mr. Jewell is telling the band to get loud. Everybody's getting loud.
Crowd is hyped.
A defensive stop wins the game for the Red Devils.
This is the biggest play of the game.
Snap to Roberson.
Roberson
looking to make a pass. Trying to go to Levi Job.
Yeah, stop by John Kuntz. That is the game. Stop by John Kuntz to end it.
MVP performance. What a performance from John Kuntz. Amazing.
John, the team is huddling around John. He has stopped the ball. He has intercepted it. He has blocked punts. He has caught passes. He has ran the ball. John Kuntz has done it all. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the John Show. That's what we're calling it here at CSPN. This is the John Show.
What a classic game for Chaminade. Brady Cook throwing that touchdown in the back in the end zone.
Beautiful pass.
Don't remember that for a while.
Beautiful pass. And the thing I think we'll remember this game, if someone asks, hey, do you remember the 21st night of September, to quote Earth, Wind, and Fire?
John Kuntz will.
John Kuntz definitely should be saying yes.
I got something better. Kuntzamania.
That's good. That's good.
But let's look at the bigger picture. Big win. 2-3 on the record. Huge win at home. And a great game. Overtime. You predicted the score correctly, Joe, on your first night here. 49-42. Congrats on that one.
Thank you.
Great game. Great game here at Don Holmes Field. This is the stuff, as a commentator, you love to commentate.
Exactly.
It is so energetic. You can feel the energy from the pep band, the pep rally, the Red Army, the players. It is so alive here.
I would not be surprised if that 4th down play was really disrupted by the overall sound of the band. It's amazing.
This beautiful play. And what a game. What a victory for the Red Devils, snapping that 3-game losing streak. And that is all we have for you tonight, folks. Stay tuned for next week's game as Chaminade tries to build on this win, facing the DeSmet Spartans right back here at Don Holmes Field.
Yes.
And so stay tuned for that. We'll bring you that next Friday at 7 o'clock. And signing off now for the rest of the CSPN crew, signing off for Joe Burkemper and Tristan Huatma.
Have a good night, gents.
My name is Jack Stinson, and thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Thank you.